Shh. Shh.
Nicolas Cage, dude. He's fucking so sick.
Shh.
He's right.
What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 172. I'm your host, Anthony Trapani. Got the resident homies with me tonight, as always. Got Casey Howard, Joel Horner with me. We're missing the professor, Joseph K, because he is 20 minutes away from me, about to shred some faces with Last Lucy, and I think Cyborg Octopus is on that bill. A few sick bands. I wish I could have made it before this, since we're doing this so late, dude. But Last Lucy's probably playing right now, actually. You know how scheduling happens. But what up, resident homies?
How's it going, man?
What up?
Good. How are you guys?
Is that the show?
Keeping it real.
That's the
Oh,
one.
that's
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Okay, nailed it.
What are they playing? They're playing Reno tomorrow.
Dude,
Yeah.
and Professor was
Cool.
saying the opening band, I didn't even look to see what their name, but they're supposed to be like a shred Mr. Bungle influenced band. So I'm like, fuck, I could.
No Living Witness. No, didn't we have that?
Yep.
They were on our podcast. Okay.
Yep.
That's the opening band or no?
That's Sam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's some local openers though too.
Oh, gotcha.
One or two. And I forget their name, dude. And I just looked at the flyer. But anyways, Joseph's tearing it up 20 minutes from me. So that's why he's not here with us tonight. But we are joined by Matt Kilner, dude, the fucking beast on the kit. What's going on, Matt?
How you doing?
Good. How are you, brother?
Good. Just got work drinking a fucking beer. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude, you're probably what, 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I didn't realize you were that close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in I sleep in a automotive shop right now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And Anthony sacrifices a lot for this podcast. Dude.
I do.
He stays away from
I don't. It's
kidding, but
not
I'm
really a
also not.
sacrifice if I'm having fun, though, right? I'm talking to cool dudes. I get to hang out with you guys virtually every night. The resident homies, my best friends. Come
Every
on,
night. Nice.
every night.
every week. Excuse me. Every night we do
Every night.
this. That's
We
what I
just pick
meant.
one to
Don't
go
tell
live.
him about that, dude.
But yeah, dude. Matt, thank you so much for giving us your time tonight, dude.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it was definitely a hyped episode. Our social medias kind of blew up on your name, dude. So
That's wild.
there's definitely people who want to hear from you.
I don't know why.
Well, we know, dude. I mean, especially
I
listening
know
to
why.
some of your performances on your recent albums, that Vitriol, dude. I'm blown away by that album.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
I mean,
your
I didn't
performance-
write it. You know what I mean? But
Your execution and your performance is a bravo from me, dude. I was very, very
thank you.
impressed by what I was listening to and what you did with Gorgasm too. And is it nithing or nithing? How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, just say whatever you want. I think it's actually like technically nithing, but I just think nithing sounds cooler.
And I didn't even bother to look up the definition, but what does that mean?
So
nith.
like nithing is like I don't remember, bro. It was like a long time ago, but it had something to do with like some like North mythology, like curse shit or something. But then like the thing that I took from it, because it's like a one-man band, so like at some point it translated into like some old English like insult for like saying like somebody's like the worst fucking person of all time, just like a total piece of shit. And I was like, that's the one, dude.
Nice,
You know,
dude. So
so-
you look like you have Norse bloodline.
I don't know, dude. I'm just a fucking white guy, but like I think like English
The
and
general
German-
white.
Yeah, exactly. Probably some in there though.
Well, right on, dude. Let's kick it off with some plugs like we always do. Battleforgecoffee.com up top, repping hard tonight. That's the homies and Deeds of Flesh. They got awesome coffee, awesome swag, support underground death metal in other ways than just buying music. If you find a band or somebody who's got a side hustle that actually is quality stuff, you need to support them in that fashion as well. And Battleforge Coffee is the way you can do that for Deeds. And Cali Death Podcast. Oh, wait, I always jump over that. No. All right, since it's up there, but Cali Death Podcast.bigcartel.com. That's for merch from us and a couple t-shirts. Be walking billboards for us, please. There you go. And then generatorrehearsalstudios.com parentheses Oceanside, California parentheses. That's where you're going to go down South California. If you're within an hour of there, get your ass over there and just jam there, because like-minded folks are doing it down there as well. We already threw up a Professor poster, but whoever's listening to this right now is listening to this and not at the show. But look, excuse me, look up Last Lucy for some future dates as well. The Professor's doing it big right now. He's all over the place, playing with multiple bands, and yeah, go check out.
He just did a To Violently Vomit tour.
Yeah,
right?
I know. He's the fucking man, dude. The Professor's the man.
He's quiet about it. Like, I didn't even fucking know he was doing. Like, I just see like all of a sudden he's hanging out with like what's his name in fucking New York, Staffy.
Vaughn. Yeah.
Vaughn. Jesus, why am I fucking? Yeah, he was just like, it was like him. I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck are you? I thought you were just like fucking working or something. I had no idea you were doing that. Yeah.
No, he's and you know, if you go back, there's times where the Professor was talking about wanting to get out there, you know. He's waiting to get out there. You can go back in this podcast and hear episodes of Joseph just waiting for it. Now he's out there all the fucking time. He's going to different countries playing. Dude,
so what's up?
Proud of the Professor.
Yeah.
Homeboy rips. You earn it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
Is there, where can we go to get, you know, stuff that you're working on? Or do you give lessons, stuff? We always kind of forget to ask that in the beginning.
What, me?
Yeah.
No, dude, I fucking I'm way too impatient to give lessons. I'd be a shitty fucking teacher, bro. But no, dude, I don't know. Like, I do merch for Gorgasm, you know, shit like that. I do like the knithing stuff. I handle that, obviously. Really, it's just my fucking Instagram page, just the knithing.bdm. That's kind of where everything's at. I should probably be like a little bit better about that with my stuff, but whatever. And obviously Gorgasm, I think it's just Gorgasm official Instagram, Vitriol Warfare on Instagram, Iniquitous Deeds, same pretty standard shit. Just Instagram's Facebook, you know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool, dude.
Okay.
Let's dig into you a little bit, dude. So, have you always been a California kid?
Yeah, dude. Fucking Walnut Creek, born and raised.
Yeah.
Red Room, or what was that old venue? The Red House or something?
Oh yeah, the Red House. Yeah, I played there.
Yeah. I was actually kind of had good sound there. I kind of missed that place. That was
the sound was tits, bro. There were some good ass shows, dude. Like, we played with Iniquitous Deeds. We played with like Inherit Disease and fucking Disgorge and shit. Like, there was actually fucking Flesh Consumed shit. Like, there was a bunch of really cool shit back in the day I'd seen there.
Nice.
It was a little weird, but it was always a good time, you know.
Definitely.
Weird in what way? Like,
I don't know, just kind of
talk some shit. I'm just kidding.
I don't know, dude. Like, it felt like, you know, you're fucking. Also, maybe just because I was super young or whatever, it was like where, like, you know, your mom would go drop you off and like sit in the waiting room while you had fun with your death metal buddies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that ever happened really, but it just, I don't know, felt a little bit like Mickey Mouse, little like Disney World kind of. I don't know, plastic. But I don't want to talk shit because I had a lot of good times there. It was fun. You know?
No, totally.
I only was there once.
Sorry,
it was good. I was saying it was there once, and I just remember like man, like what the I saw like Archaic and a bunch of other bands there and was like, what the fuck? This place is like, you gotta like, I don't know. You don't get many of those venues for death metal bands and stuff that actually sound good too. Like have like quality sound system and the room's right and it's not all bouncy and echoey. It's just like I remember that just hitting hard. Then it closed. I think COVID was its downfall, if I remember, or maybe even before that, right?
I think it was before that because I think they were trying to like renew the lease and they got priced out, and the guy was just like, "Yeah, fuck this," you know.
Yeah, so. Walnut Creek, you know.
Yeah,
it's an expensive place.
Yeah, it's brutal. But yeah. So, you know, East Bay always been around here, you know.
Right on. And how old are you?
31.
31.
Had to think about it for a second. Yeah.
So, all right, tell us a little bit about growing up, you know, early memories of influence and creativity.
Oh, fuck. I don't know, dude. I think like a good way to kind of sum it up that's really sick, like of my parents is I was talking to my dad about this last week, actually. I told him one of the coolest things for me was that it started like so young with me that like it was never a question. By the time I was able to like process the thought of like an identity,
right,
it was never a question of like what my identity was. Like, oh yeah, I play music. You know what I mean?
You were already connected before you became fully conscious.
Yeah, like the question was answered for me before it was ever even posed, which was fucking remarkably convenient because I didn't really have to think about it. You know what I mean?
But also before like, conscious, before awareness, like.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like because both my parents are musicians. My brother plays too. I mean, I fucking did. What up, Ian? I did like my first music lesson. I think it was like 3 or something. You know, which is stupid, but they kind of just like set me on that path from a very early age. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because like my dad played and I'd watch him play fucking his acoustic guitar all the time. And I like wanted to do that for whatever reason, or if there is some sort of like predisposition for connecting with music like that. But yeah, I mean, all I ever wanted to like think about and talk about was music. You know, I remember the first time I like thought I had like a favorite band, it was like the Beatles. Because my parents had like a best hits album and I saw Beatles and Best and I was like, oh, this is the best band ever. You know what I mean? And then I just kind of kept rolling with that for a while. But
you said both your parents were, or everybody in the family was musical. What'd your mom do?
My mom plays piano and flute and she sings.
Wow.
And my dad plays guitar and piano and like he dicks around with like production, like Reason and stuff like that, but not all that much anymore, I don't think.
Did they meet through music?
Nah, they met through fucking programming or whatever. They were like computer people.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So.
And then they both meet each other and they find out they have similar interests in extracurricular activities outside of work.
Yeah, I guess
instruments. They're multi-instrumentalists that play that work on computers at the same. They're like made for each other.
Coders.
Bro, they're also they're both left-handed. What the fuck? I never thought about that.
Both of my parents are left-handed, and both me and my brother are left-handed.
I'm righty. My brother's righty too. So
we're a family of 4. My brother is the younger one. He's ambidextrous, but he's still left-handed in most of his life.
Yeah,
and it's wild. I almost feel like we were like tricked, like they tied our arms behind our back or something to make sure keep the left-handed lineage, dude.
Yeah, no son of mine, dude. You know what I mean? That's sick.
All right, so how young before you decided to play an instrument?
I think so. I'm fairly certain. My mom always tells this story, which is fucking goofy as hell. I think I was 3, and for some reason, I was like, you know, I wanted to play violin or whatever. So she found some guy through her church or whatever. And she was like, hey, can you try to teach him something? He's like, I don't know, man. He's a little bit young, but like, I'll give you like a shot at it. And so I can like see the guy's couch. Like, and I can like, I remember being there, and I did this little lesson and shit. And so he was like, yeah, I think he could probably like gain something from, not like, really learn how to play at 3 years old, but something could, benefit him from taking lessons and shit.
Mhm.
And so my mom was like, oh, what do you think about that? She was calling me Maffers. She's like, what do you think about that, Maffers? And I was like, she's like, you want to keep learning to play violin? I was like, no. She was like, why not? I was like, I just did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next.
Like, that was it. Yeah. And I think they had me like playing piano and from, within a year or so after that, But,
Wow.
That's really cool. That's, I mean, like we always talk about, and like we've seen in so many people that are like amazing musicians that we know. A lot of people that started like that, like when they're developing language, they're like, let's throw music along with that link, because they're your brain's all malleable and taking in everything, and then just throw in an instrument. And those people that I know that have started earlier, like generally the freaks of nature of music.
It's in their DNA, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely like something that they started, like I said, they're just learning how to say data, and then they're fucking smacking the skins too. It's like it's gonna stick, no pun intended with the drums. Hey.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I think about that, like I didn't really connect those dots until like later on, that like, oh yeah, it was like I was just like kind of given this, which is like super sick. So I'm very lucky, that it's not like my dad's making me fucking work on blast beats, 3-4 hours a week when I'm 31 or whatever. But like I'm very, very grateful, and have obviously been super lucky for having that upbringing. You know what I mean? Because it's
definitely
it's like having a bilingual child, like asking a kid who speaks multiple languages their whole life, like, how do you know how to speak multiple languages? They'll just be like, it was always there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's been there ever since I could remember. It's just me.
Yeah, people learning from like hear stories about people in other countries that just, they're like, how did you learn English? They're like, oh, I just watched TV when I was a kid. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I could
now try and watch Telemundo and figure out Spanish right now.
I know. I can kind of figure out through their emotions. My mom's side is Spanish and has Native American, so they spoke Spanish. So my grandma used to bring me in and watch telenovelas, and I would just be like, watch my grandma just like react to it. She'd like, be 5 or 6 years old, and I would just see all their emotions, and I'm like, oh, they like cheated or something. And my grandma would be like, that witch. she'd be all like pissed off, like super, like just like fucking like, it's just the way she said it. I was like, Jesus, what's going on here? And it was like, done. She's like, that witch, dude. I just like, but yeah, no, you kind of like, I could watch it with her when I was younger. I could actually sit there and just, watch a soap opera in Spanish, basically, and actually understand. If I just like kept down that trajectory, luckily I wasn't, not luckily, but I probably should have just got into it. But I was like, if I watched that shit on my own all the time, I probably could have picked some stuff up,
Yeah, body language is part of it too, So you could definitely sit there and just watch it, be like, oh, dude, they're pissed off at each other right now. Oh, dude, that it looks like that guy was with that chick when he should have been with that chick, and now that chick's pissed off.
Yep, exactly. This is a dude what learned from YouTube. That's a new style,
Well, I mean, that's where everybody's learning shit now is YouTube. I mean, there's even stuff in automotive where I'm just like, oh, dude, what do I need to do? There's a full-on fucking 10-minute video tutorial, and you're just like, oh shit, there we go.
Yeah, or there's probably like closed captioning now that you can do with like AI stuff, where it probably, I don't know if it's hit YouTube yet, but you could just like translate with closed captioning to like your language, possibly. I don't know if that's a thing yet. Yeah, I assume with all the fucking advances that that's going to be a thing.
I mean, we're in the weeds on language now, and I'm sorry, but there's the apps and shit too, where you could just speak into it, and it just says it. I mean, to the best of its ability. But how sick would it be to hear it in real time?
I think they have. It's coming out where they have stuff like that.
I thought that was like one of the things for one of those fucking Google phones. Like that was like the reason to get it. Like
it's in real time, like.
I mean, maybe not real time, I guess.
Maybe like a second or two delay, but yeah, it's like You can. I saw like some fucked up like YouTube or reels or something where a guy was just like he's pretending like he's speaking a different language. It's like, where's the diarrhea machine? I need to diarrhea. Just like going, and they're just going like, what the fuck? Is like, I need to make shit out of my ass. Shit out of my ass. And the person's just like,
I love that, dude.
And then like, it's over there. It's like, I need to shit, dude. I need to shit. And they're like, Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
if you were the person to have somebody who doesn't speak English come up to you and say, I need to make shit out of my ass, like how would you handle that? Would you?
It's like, where's the hole? Where's the hole to shit?
Would there be sympathy right away, or would you giggle at the person?
I would be laughing. I couldn't.
I would giggle.
Can't walk up to me and do that.
But even if they're like all sweaty and clenching cheeks, like ready to shit their pants, you would laugh first.
Yeah,
I might
it's,
give them...
it's over there, dude.
Yeah, add it all together, dude. Just as you're giving them the answer, laugh at them.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Anyways, so from shitting out of our ass,
yeah,
that's our segue.
You started playing music while you were still shitting in your diapers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Nice tie in there. Yeah.
So all right, was the first instrument? It wasn't drums, it was guitar?
Well, you know what's funny,
piano, you said. Sorry.
Well, as I was, the first one that I like played for an extended period of time was piano. Dude, I didn't retain any of that shit, brother. Like, I was trying to figure out how to play chopsticks again like a month ago, and I couldn't fucking figure it out. Yeah, I know. So that's all gone, but that's all right.
Yeah,
but like, no, so like I did that for a little bit. I just remembered, though, I forgot about this. My dad, so my brother, he's like 3 years older than me. So I think it was 3 years old. So it was like a 3 and a 6 year old. My dad had the dumbass idea to buy us a fucking drum set. So he did. And like, that shit was awesome. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then that shit was gone. Like fast. It was like I didn't know where it went.
So you guys had a blast.
Yeah. But no, I found it later. Oh yeah, dude, poor son of a bitch. But yeah, so that the drums came significantly later. Like I ended up I played guitar is the first one that I like really took to. I started playing that shit when I was like 7. So
lessons and stuff. Were you taking lessons and all that?
Yeah, lessons. I mean, you know, I never feel like this isn't the teacher's fault or whatever, but it's like, what's a 7-year-old kid gonna get out of some guy trying to be like, you need to learn the blues scales?
Okay, I know. Right. That's same thing happened to me. Like, it was like it was started with theory at first, and I was like, I need to find the guy to teach me the song that I like. Like,
yeah, exactly.
From there, then I'll want to go farther with it, you know.
Yeah. So I did the lessons for a while. And then at some point, speaking of everyone learning everything on YouTube, like not like YouTube at that time, but like I found like fucking Ultimate Guitar or like 911 tabs and shit, you know, and just off. Dude.
Yeah. I still use it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
There's still like riffs. I'm like, I need to know that riff. I just need to, I don't want to like, I could do it by ear, but I don't want to waste the time. And just like,
yeah,
I'll be like working from home and I'll be like a quick little break. I'll just be like, all right, I need that riff down. All right. Good.
Yeah,
that's just like my little practice. That's like how I do it nowadays.
Dude.
Songster, yeah. They have that song. Isn't that they have like a Guitar Pro, like online Guitar Pro thing they keep trying to push on you now? It's like, I mean,
that thing.
I know. I was like, I have a Guitar Pro. I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom and find the little link. It's like, okay, download the Guitar Pro if you want it. But yeah, I mean, that's still, you know, it still
they got
plays
the
a little
songster thing that like what they're trying to do with it is like play, I think, the real song and then have the tab go with it on, you know, like along with it.
Oh, interesting.
But you have to pay like for the subscription for it to keep going. It just like stops after, you know, like at like 30 seconds in or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And subscriptions, so, like, I think, have to be illegal. I feel like there should be a pop-up on your phone like, are you still down? It's like, no. You know, like, because there's been times I've had something for like years or like a year and a half, and I'm like, sick, dude, that was $1,000 and I didn't use it once, you know, with subscriptions.
They're never going away, dude. They're just gonna keep coming.
It looks cheap. You're just like, oh, it's just fucking $9.99 a month, and then you don't, you know, it's like I just need to use it like 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna cancel it for sure though, and then you just don't. And then like you can't like you can call them and get usually a month back, but it just seems like, I don't know, it's such trickery for people that don't check their bank account like every day, you know. But anyways, that's another story.
It sounds like you need rocket money.
Or yeah,
No.
No, I had one of those apps too, but it's installed. The reason why I got it, it's installed like you can go through the app and hit cancel on everything, and then it cancels it for you. And then I got it and was all excited. And I hit cancel. It's like, here's the phone number to call to go cancel it. And I was like, oh, sick, dude. You didn't cancel it for me.
It's just like an ad loop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, call this fucking this number that you go in circles with forever, and they'll try to talk you out of it and offer you a better deal and all the things, you know. So, anyways, that's super music related. But yeah, no, Ultimate Guitar it's so awesome to see them still going, because that was a huge thing. And there was a couple like tab sites when I was younger that were like metal tabs, and these certain tab sites where just dudes would just fucking do great jobs.
Yo, you remember Rivers of Gore, dude?
Oh yeah,
so sick. I know. I got hella shit from that. That was
like
awesome.
Death metal tabs, right? Like,
yeah, they had like Spawn of Possession on there and like Anata and like all these like, fucking deep cuts and shit. And I'd be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that was sick.
Those were figuring out tab is important, dude. When you're starting, that's like, you know, getting started.
I mean, dude, the thing that's wild about that, and I know this is for sure what happened with me, and I'm assuming is what's happening with all these fucking crazy little bastards running around fucking blasting 290 and shit when they're 15 years old or whatever. Like, it's like you figure out Guitar Pro, and you're like, oh yeah, I can fucking, you know, an 8-year-old is better than Kirk Hammett. You know what I mean? Which, whatever. But like, but like that kid, when they start like writing music, because they're obviously invested, they're gonna be writing shit fucking way above. This is what I did, was like way above what I'm able to play. And then when I started like getting in the bands and shit, I was like, fuck, now I gotta play it. You know what I mean? And it just kind of like it like makes you do it. And I still do that like to this day. You know, like dude, those new Vitriol songs are like, some of that shit is like fucked up to play. Like I can do it, but it's like,
oh dude, I can tell, dude.
I can imagine, dude.
Yeah.
So nuts. Do you do like doubles on your feet on that stuff, or is it like, are you doing swivel?
It's all singles. I do.
Oh, really? Crazy.
I do this
person there.
I do little bursts of like doubles. Like there's I don't want to get like super nerdy about it.
Get it.
We like nerdy.
All right, yeah. So there's this one in the opening track, Shame and Its Afterbirth, when it gets real fast. It's like a traditional like triplet blast, like you know what I mean? I think it's at like 180, which equates to be like 270 in blast beat time, you know. And so it's fast as fuck, and that sucks ass enough to play. But then I was like, I really wanted this like one accent to be there every once in a while or whatever, where it just kind of it pauses for a second and I hit a crash and it does like a little like just a really quick kick roll. And so the thing I didn't really realize until I had already like become enamored with that drum part, because I program it all out first and then figure it out later. Hence the Guitar Pro. And when I fucking went to go play it, I was like, oh fuck, that like when that part where it goes from like 8th notes to 16th notes on the kicks for just like 3 beats, like that lands on my left foot. So like I don't think I'm going to reasonably be able to like just like turn the singles on starting with my left foot in the middle of a blast beat. So then it's like, all right, that's when I'm doing doubles, because it's a little bit easier, because it's the same like quad like leg motion of doing like a duck foot blast on your feet, you know.
Right.
But then you just kind of like stomp the heel toe and just do like left, right, left, and that's it. So,
right.
Break out the notebook of terms, because a new one, duck foot blast. I've never heard that.
Oh, you ever heard duck foot? Yeah, it's like when it's when your hands are just regular blasting, but like I don't know if I can see, but like you're just going right, left, you know, the way that most people blast beat. Not like
we call those a suffo blast.
No, that's
suffo blast. Like
you're talking about a split blast.
Yes,
Morbid Angel split blast, you know, but like not the 1 foot, you know. So most people, it used to be called like the European blast or whatever, like that or something, you know.
And then it got all quack headed, and we call it duck blast now.
I don't know. I remember where I heard that.
I heard that back in the day, dude.
Also, Diego
duck walk
on Instagram says He doesn't show on the on here, but just wants to send some love, and then keep shredding that.
Oh, what a
So.
sweetheart. That guy's awesome.
Who
So
said
it's really
that?
nice.
The Wizard?
Diego Sanchez, yeah, the Wizard. It's just on Instagram, so I can't put it on the screen.
Dude's sick.
But anyways, so Duckfoot, is that like a variation of the split blast, or
I
is
was
that just
guessing heels down because
No. It's just like 2 foot blast. It's just 2 foot. But like, but it only applies to the split blast, really, right? Like, it's like to do a suffo blast with 1 foot would be very cool and interesting, but like, I don't think that's really how Mike Smith did it. Or
get out of here.
Oh, dude, Adam Hellman in the chat called
No, I love
Duck
that
Walk, dude. Shout out Adam.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just, dude. Honestly, bro, I would love to be able to like 1 foot everything.
Yeah,
but, dude, I don't know, man. Just not that much of a man, I guess. I don't know, dude. Like, it's like,
no, dude. I think that's one thing I don't think really. I think it's cool to play all that shit like 1 foot, like specifically split blasts, like whatever. No one plays suffo blast 1 foot. Maybe if you do, cool, that's rad. But nobody usually does. But like, I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. Like, it's made to be much bigger deal than it needs to be. Like, it doesn't. Like, most people do the 2 foot.
Yeah, of course. I think only when you really like really get down to like the nitty gritty of that shit. I mean, the reason that a 1 foot, I think, could I identify it in a blind test? Like, that guy's 1 footing, that guy's not. Like, probably not. But could I be like, that guy sounds tighter, that guy doesn't? I think I could tell that. I think a lot of that can be attributed to like the 1 footers, because I think just once you get that like momentum going, I think it just becomes more even. Let alone if you got a mic on the kick drum.
For sure, it's badass.
Yeah,
it's super badass. It sounds.
Could you relate it to like down picking and alternate picking? Like down picking, you can kind of tell. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Alternate picking is like, you can tell like, oh, they're alternate. It's like not as powerful, and they're
if you're also picking like eighth notes and like dig it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I was under the impression that was the normal way that most death metal drummers blast, and being a 1-footed blaster was something to be impressive,
Yeah.
I think it definitely is.
I had seen used both legs during just the 16th blast, not the bomb blast, just the following the hands and the hi-hat, hand and the.
I always thought about like the style between like kind of more like East Coast death metal versus West Coast or whatever, or like or just different areas of death metal, like but like I always thought of like, well, a lot of like the California bands and stuff, they do a lot of like suffo blasts mixed with splits, mixed with double bass and this kind of shit, or like it mixes around a lot, or like they do, whereas like like a lot of the like Florida stuff is all split blasts, and then it's like different. They don't necessarily all do suffo blasts, You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
or like that kind of like grind thing.
You could kind of follow the split all the way from grind up until
the
beat,
but
getting to Terrorizer, that was that split.
Oh, totally.
So sick.
But like that's like their main blasts. Like then they do like cannibal blasts or bomb blasts and all that shit too, But like, but like I think that like the more like whatever like bands that go from split to suffo to split to like that more like kind of like technical kind of style, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but like I think that is more conducive to like playing 2 foot all the time, because you're just like then you're switching back from splits to suffos,
Yeah,
like that's what I'm talking about,
Totally. I think there's legitimately like a balance element to that also.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there'll be times where like I'm fucking like playing some shit, and like I don't like plan it out, but I eventually realize after I play the song so many times, like this part like makes me fucking like feel weird. Like I gotta like lean forward to like hit it right or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, but
no, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's all sorts of weird shit with that you just kind of come across, But
you guys as drummers are using 4 limbs, it's and the way drumming has become, you guys have to independently work each limb with each other and make a beat with it. It actually is still why we love to talk about death metal drumming so much today. For how many years we've been listening to this, it's just an impressive feat. It makes it feel like you guys are octopuses. You got 8 limbs, you know.
It'd be nice.
What would happen? What would happen if like Goro from fucking Mortal Kombat sat down and
Probably some badass shit, bro. You know what I mean?
and just like Matrix uploaded fucking Matt's mental knowledge of drumming and just watch Goro go at it with those 4 limbs, dude. That would be insane.
The polyrhythms would be banana if they wanted to do polyrhythms. Just like if he could get was it 6 arms? Yeah, 6 arms. Or no,
he had 4 arms. Yeah,
4 arms. Okay, just like fucking. You'd have to have a drum set that was like he'd have arms like going behind you and just like doing shit behind you.
That fucking dude. That
jars and back shit.
Yeah, dude.
It's like let's play 5 against 2 against 3 against 9 against 7.
Goro on Neil Peart's kit or something, dude. You know, full 360.
360.
How
Terry
sick would that
Bozzio's
be?
kit, just like
You can find.
Oh my god!
Why isn't there an AI video already made of that right now, dude?
Somebody get crap.
I would pay
Goro
$7
drumming for Rush, dude. That's the only person they replaced Neil Peart with is Goro from.
What if your extra limbs, instead of coming all out from the front, like we're like going back, had like another like mirror of yourself that way?
You know their brain for that, dude. 2 heads too. Like
you got 6,
like
4 arms,
left and right, 2 left and right brains.
You'd have to have another brain for that. A couple.
We've already
brains.
got multiple limbs.
I'd have a 4-core. It'd be like a new.
We're not even talking about something that's real, dude.
Oh,
Anything is possible. Like this is in a fantasy world. What we're talking about, he could have all the brains, dude.
We're all stuck in Windows.
He could have a brain on his knees.
He could have a brain on his knee.
Yeah. A brain with legs, like a cephalopod.
That's pretty sick.
Oh my god, just mini brains on every limb. Anyways,
Hell yeah.
I love how
That's an
cephalopod.
octopus, by the way.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Their whole body is like a fucking. I'm too high to remember the word. But
whole body's
it's like
a brain?
I think it's like 9 brains or something. They got 1 central, and each limb has its own like system.
Really?
All right, Luke just walked in. I don't know who Luke is, but you have to answer. How many brains does an octopus have, dude? Let's just put it on him.
Luke,
There you have
Hold
to.
through for us,
Look
Luke.
at this. Damn, someone made a full
Got that,
octopus
or-
thing.
That's pretty sick.
dude,
Checking. That's
Luke,
cool.
you got a mission, Luke. We need you, bro.
How many brains?
Luke
When
has
someone
been
goes, "What's up, guys?" in the middle of like a podcast, just ask them a random question. Be like, "All right, dude, this is where we're at." Like,
Dude,
this is
you're
this
in
is
it.
your
As
journey.
soon as you got in, dude. Now you're part of the show, dude. Let's see how fast you come back.
It's like Luke.
Oh wait, Frankie knows though.
Oh,
I know. Oh,
okay.
Frankie,
Luke
how do you
answered
know?
it. 8 arms, 3 hearts, and 1 brain.
oh shit.
3. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
I don't know if that's
Crazy.
the right answer.
So I'm
but I'll
fucking
take it.
bullshit. I'm totally bullshit.
He's got like 6 brains, 2
Wait,
hearts.
only
and
1
fucking-
brain?
Kids, don't always believe everything you read.
3 hearts. That's cool.
I believe him. I'm just gonna believe him. I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah.
That's
no,
that's the truth.
Yeah, Frankie
that's
could be
part-
trolling us right now.
We're not allowed to look it up. That's the point. Only our.
Frankie,
Yes.
show us a freaking reference right now. No, I'm just joking, Frankie. I love you.
One of the 10
I need to be
locals
put in
is a
check.
pee-pee.
It's my cousin.
All right, grab the machetes, guys. Let's cut ourselves out of these octopus weeds.
This is our science section. Here we go.
It's our marine biology section.
Yeah.
All right, so what age were we at though? Going. We were
Metallica.
you went to drum. Oh, so you know, it's
What
kind of like
age
one of
were
those
you at,
things.
Metallica, yeah.
Because I wanted to, Metallica was the last thing.
Yeah.
Just it was one of those things that I always talk about on here. Is like my dad's like, "What do you want to play?" I'm like, "Drums." He's like, "Nope." So I feel like your parents were like, "Fuck yeah," and then you started playing, and they're like, "Nope." Like
Yeah.
it's kind of loud.
I don't know, man. I mean, I was 3. Like, I basically wasn't even there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I fucking, I don't remember like ever asking for it. I think it just showed up. and then as quickly as it came, it also went.
With no explanation.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
You know, I remember at some point realizing that I had the first band I was in, I was like probably 6 or 7. And it was this is not a band, bro. This is like me and my neighbor, and we found the drum set again. I do remember that. And he was playing drums. Shout out Trevin. And I was playing guitar, and the band was called Tornado. And we just had he just played the little like gospel like breakbeat thing. And I just randomly changed between the 3 chords that I knew. So that was pretty sick, But
that's
like
still,
the drums were somewhere, and then they came back, and then I had no real explanation. But
that's
thank God for that, dude.
Planting the seed to play with other humans, dude. This just like bouncing energy off of each other.
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
Yeah,
sick.
Makes you want to keep doing it.
When did guitar leave? I mean, not leave your life, because obviously you have like 30 behind you. But like, when did it become more drum focused coming from guitar?
Probably like what it would have been like 5th or 6th grade. I don't really know how old you are then, but whenever I discovered Slipknot, and I was like, oh, yo, Joey Jordison. Like, okay, this is the guy, bro.
12, 13, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. And then I was like, fucking.
What was the first Slipknot song or album for you?
It was Iowa, and I remember my brother gave it to me.
Your brother's a few years ahead of you, so he's feeding you stuff. We never really talked about his influence on you too, so I want to get back to him.
Yeah, I'm pretty massive. I mean, legit. Like I remember this. It's like some fucking hotel room somewhere. I don't remember what we were doing, but he like fucking handed me a little CD player, and it had Iowa in it, and he'd just gotten it. And like we'd listened to fucking like Metallica before. Like that was the heaviest, and like a big time like into Nirvana and shit. And again, I must have been like 11 or 12 at this point when I was first introduced to it. Actually, what? No, Iowa was 2001.
Yep.
Right. So I was 9, because he got it like right when it came out, and he was like, try to listen to it, ignore the screaming, the music's really good. And I was like, okay. And I mean, like, I don't know if I like immediately got into it from there, but like pretty quickly thereafter, I was like, this is my shit, dude.
I'm sure like the masks too at 9 probably helped.
Imagery was a thing for sure. It was it was definitely more a part of the equation for you at that age. You want to, visually, you want to relate to something, and then you see some crazy mask, and you're like, oh yeah, that's me inside my head in my depression.
But at that time when they came out, I think they were still pretty much anonymous. I think people didn't really know. There was like people searching for like, on the AOL, just like, what do they look like? What's going on?
You're right.
It was pretty still. I think they were pretty anonymous until maybe like the next album or the album after that. But they were still keeping it. Like, people were like, who the fuck are these guys? Like,
that was for sure a part of the lure. Like, you wanted to find an unmasked picture of one of the guys, and it definitely added to the whole, atmosphere of that. But it was also the music too, dude. The music hit us in a very another like developmental age, and it's just hitting you in all those like, oh, I got too much testosterone and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I like this chick, but she doesn't like me.
Bro, 9 years old, man. Like you're coming up on that hormone peak, but you don't know how to jerk off yet. You know what I mean?
Just like raging, like buttless boners. What do I do?
It's fucking awesome, bro.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
people are going off on the Goro thing a little bit. It's like it's Goro. You can only use the St. Anger snare, and then Goro, but he chose deathcore. A couple more in there, But yeah, anyways, that was it's an influential time, especially 9 years old. Like 9 years old for me was like Green Day and Offspring. That was so to find Slipknot from Metallica, because I was listening to Metallica a little bit, but to take that leap, that was the leap. It was from Metallica to Slipknot.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because I remember it was like all about Master of Puppets and Justice for All and shit. Obviously, I don't think I ever really listened to the Black Album back then. Like, I still don't really know, to be honest. I'm not that familiar with that or whatever. Like, that's not like only the first couple or whatever. But like, I just never, like, something else intervened before I made it there, you know, and that was Slipknot. And obviously that like took it a different direction than Metallica was going. So
they averted your eyes. They're like, don't go here, just come over here.
Yeah. Some of the Black Album songs are cool or whatever. Like, the production's heavy as fuck.
Production's probably one of the best ever. But yeah,
it's crazy, you know. But
definitely.
I was really big into Slipknot for a couple years, and that's when I got like pretty. I wouldn't call it serious, but that's when I like was like, I play drums now. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do, you know.
George, like, yelling's okay. I can play drum. I'm going to play drums to this now. Yeah.
Well, at a certain point, I would imagine fairly quickly, I got into the yelling, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really remember. I mean, like, dude, like the first 2 Slipknot albums they hold up. Like, they're sick. I listen to them.
I listened to them too.
Yeah.
I listened to them for sure. They were what you're saying. My reaction to them is the same exact thing. I had a solid couple of years where I had to have a Slipknot shirt on at least once a week, you know. Just gotta represent. I had so many fucking Slipknot shirts, dude, and loved those 2 albums. Then, but something happened after that, and I wasn't really into it. It wasn't necessarily their projection or whatever. It was what I started to get into after Iowa as well, because Iowa is probably the perfect bridge from the softer, I shouldn't say softer, but the not as heavy stuff. What am I trying? What's the word I'm looking for? You know, it's not soft. Like, Metallica is not soft, but it is soft compared to what we fell into. It took us to a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
it was like an emotional extreme. It was like, it made you like, oh, it wasn't like.
But you know, Iowa is like, the white rabbit. Iowa's the white rabbit that guided us to the rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah,
you know,
totally, dude. And I remember, so like Volume 3. Their 3rd album came out. I think I was in 7th grade. Maybe I was in 8th grade. I don't remember. But I remember hearing that album. And, you know, at like that time, I was still very much of the mindset that I have and that I should have a favorite band. You know what I mean? And so I was like fucking holding on to that tight. And they released this album. And that was like my first experience with anticipating something and then being like disappointed with it for whatever reason. And I remember at some point it hit me, like, I realized I was like, man, what the fuck? Like, what is it? Like, and it was the first time I thought about production on an album was on Volume 3. I was like, oh, this doesn't sound as heavy. It's not as like fucked up sounding. And I was like, oh, the guitars. There's less distortion on the guitars. That's why I don't like it as much. And so from then I ended up, kind of a long story short, I ended up finding Hate Eternal, and Hate Eternal was like the first like death metal band I got into, and it was just poof, just off from there. You know.
Which album?
King of All Kings. Oh yeah, King of All Kings.
Okay.
Yeah. But Slipknot played a fucking huge role, and I think a lot of people like around this age group that like, especially like active musicians in extreme music, you know what I mean?
It's the millennials Black Sabbath kind of.
Yeah,
it is kind of, you know, for those people, the boomer crap, like that was like, that's like our Black Sabbath basically, because they just kind of, I mean, it's saying a huge, I don't want to say that it's the same as Black Sabbath, but I'm saying that it's that one conduit band that took a bunch of people to another place kind of thing, you know.
Totally.
I'm getting my timeline a little bit mixed up for myself, because now that I'm thinking about it, I had already came across Morbid Angel and shit after the self-titled, and then when Iowa came out, hearing the blast beat in the first song, I was like, oh shit, they're fucking playing death metal now, because But either way, I see that as like that would be my bridge. Are you into Metallica? Yes. Okay, well check this out, and then give them Iowa.
Well, what
See
they did
what
is
happens.
they didn't blast beat the whole time. They just like would throw it in there, and then you'd be like, okay, I see how that works. You know?
No, and I
And
saw it as like a nod. You know, I was
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
shit, they are actually showing their influences and hearing Pete Sandoval, Morbid Angel, and Deicide, and all these blast beats, and then now Slipknot had a blast beat, and I was like, oh, dude, they know what's up with death metal too.
yeah. I just missed Volume 3. That was the one after Iowa was Volume 3, right? Was that the next?
Yeah.
Okay, I totally don't even know that one because at that time I had gone to Slayer, Sepultura, Deicide, Cannibal Corpse. Like I had leveled up. I had got up one more rung up the ladder, and I was like, oh, I'm embarrassed that I used to listen to that now because I am now elitist and I need to listen to more brutal music because that's for the kids, and now I'm a man. That's kind of like how I felt. It was like I'm not even going to listen to it. Like I don't even want to hear it because I want to hear the new Cannibal. I want to hear the new. Once you get into, it's just another level of obsession and in extreme music. And I was like, I just don't even care anymore.
Well, yeah, I think the itch gets bigger, and then
Yeah.
shit like that just doesn't scratch it anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's like a drug addict.
So it
is an addiction.
Yeah, totally. And then like
Mhm.
at a certain point, it's like, well, there really isn't anything much more extreme.
Yep.
That you can really get. So then you got to like really start thinking about like what it is you like about this stuff.
And here we are, decades into a functioning addiction, dude.
Yeah.
Still talk. We're doing a podcast about our addiction to something.
Yeah. We're basically just like, it's like going like, dude, fucking meth is sick, dude. It's like, let's just talk about meth, dude. I remember like when I first started, it was like weed.
Dude, I clean my
like,
house every day, dude.
That's basically what we're saying. Oh my god! But it is. I mean, it's a healthy addiction because obviously, stress
And
reliever.
by the way, cleaning to death metal is sick as well.
Hell yeah!
Oh, definitely.
Match those up. You got to have something energetic while you're cleaning.
Yeah,
exactly. So okay, so you're playing. You went from guitar to the drums. You're starting to do the Joey Jordison thing. Are you jamming with folks at this time?
No,
When did the kit come back into the house? Your parents got rid of the kit, and then all of a sudden you're wanting to play.
You found it, right?
Yeah. Well, so the kit came back into play for Tornado. Thank God, like that was the shit with my neighbor or whatever. And then I didn't want to play drums at that time. I was playing guitar, and then my brother got a drum set at some point, and then I was just like, that's my drum set too. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it was like his, but it was like, I'm gonna play the fuck out.
We're bros, dude. Come on, I gotta play that drum set.
Yeah, dude. And that's when it the obsession with it came significantly earlier than like me being serious about it, which I think is probably a reasonable thing especially for people that age or whatever. And it's probably really convenient because by the time I realized how much work it actually takes, I was already like so mentally and like emotionally and like invested in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like I was significantly more willing to fucking sit there and for hours every day fucking practice blast beats, which is the most boring fucking thing to do, but it was worth it at that point, And it still is to kind of a lesser degree now, I don't get my rocks off just fucking, rocking just like an hour-long practice routine as much as I used to. But it's a different relationship, obviously.
You talk about that feeling though when working on a blast beat and stuff that you hit it and you're like holding it, like so that's like oh, that's your upgrade in drugs. It's like, all right, I got the blast beat now. It's like like, all right, now I got the good shit now. So talk about that. Like once you finally held it, was it just like it's on? It's like way more on than it's ever been.
Oh, dude, I think the world would be such a better place if more people knew what it was like to blast at 240 BPM. Like it's fucking awesome, dude. It's awesome, I love it so much. Like that is really weird to think about. But yeah, like I remember that was a big goal for me, was like I want to do, I've always referred to them as traditionals. I don't know where I got that, but the split blast,
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do that, and I want to do a bomb blast. I want to do that at 240. And I knew what I had to do because there was a video of Derek Roddy literally telling everybody what to do. And I was like, okay, this guy fucking knows, so
Mm-hmm.
I just did that over and over and over again. And when I finally hit it, I was like, dude, yes, and then it just kind of kept going. That's one thing I'm glad that I didn't decide like, oh, I did it. I was like, I want more, so that's probably was a kind of a crucial moment, just not choosing to not walk away rather.
Definitely.
But it was, yeah, dude, it's fucking, it's great. It is crazy. And it's very much like for the technique that I do for a lot of stuff is very much about like momentum and like catching like rebounds and shit like that, and a lot of it has to do with like trying to kind of get out of your own way, and in a certain way, but like really kind of like once you hit that and you're just like, oh, I'm like, it's going, that's like that's what's up. Like that's the shit that feels great.
Yeah, dude, that's that flow state.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was gonna ask you, when you do these blast practices where you're just practicing your blast beats, I want to know what's going on when you hit that flow state. Can you recall what's going on in your head? Are you thinking about fucking the mortgage? Are you thinking about rent? Are you thinking about what you had for dinner, yesterday? Or is it just Zen? Is it a meditative thing that you get into?
Definitely not Zen. But it's, I think there's very much like a lights are on but nobody's home kind of thing, because every once in a while, like it'll hit me. Like I was practicing the new Vitriol material, like this was even just like a week or two ago, and at one point in it, like I don't really know what. Yeah, there's not really like real thought going on or whatever. But at one point, I like kind of like snapped back into it, and I was just like, "The fuck," you know what I mean? Like it was like super jarring for some reason. I was like, I can't. Like, why am I doing this?
Did you actually stop, or did you still go from?
No, I kept playing.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it something?
That's a good question. Like, what kind of thoughts go through your brain? Like, what's your like? What are you thinking about? Besides, I mean, probably obviously blast beating proficiently, but if you're in a flow state where you're just nailing it and it's something that you're used to doing,
there is no thinking. Really,
my brain will trail off. Like when I'm playing guitar, it'll just like trail off into like, I had dinner, or I don't even know, like whatever's going on in my life. And I feel like with having like a beat, like where you're kind of in a rhythm, that you could kind of catch some sort of like weird thought process while doing that.
To me, I think the only real thoughts that I have or can have, and it's hard to say because I do think it's different when I'm like playing, like if it's like a live scenario versus just like jamming at home or whatever. But like live, or I mean, even when I'm trying to simulate a live scenario, oftentimes I'm trying to like, my left china over here tends to kind of like float away as things on stands do. And so like oftentimes I'm trying to like keep an eye on that and be like, all right, this part's coming up where I know I'm going to have to hit this. And so I got to make sure I got to take a second to pull my left hand away when I'm not blasting and go grab that, shit like that. Things very technique oriented about like, for a long time, I was like really, really big on keeping my elbows tucked, shoulders back, sit up straight, elbows tucked, and then you're like kind of just ready to go with the fingers. And so like I would have those kinds of thoughts, like, oh, my elbow's getting out here, better like bring that guy back in, but man, if I'm thinking about dinner, I'm toast. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no way, dude.
Toast for dinner? No.
Fuck. No, like
No.
I fear fucking up too much, I think. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's actually that resonates with me a lot. I'm thinking about like, oh shit, am I gonna be unplugged? What's going like what's like it's constant worries of what's happened in the past and things that have like kind of fucked me up.
Mhm.
Where I'm like constantly, especially like in front of decent crowds, going like, all right, like I don't want to like
Yeah,
this
dude.
is and even like nowadays, like I work doing like in the tech industry, but sometimes I'll be like helping my CEO like do something like a live presentation, and I will be fucking psycho. I'll be like, all right, we got to make sure that like everything we have to do like 2 test runs. We have to like because I'm just like because being on stage has like fucked me up so much, and all the fuck ups that have happened on stage as far as like not playing related, but like equipment related. I
Yeah.
want to make sure like every corner everything's good. To the point where people are like, Jesus, like calm the fuck down. Is this the presentation, a PowerPoint that someone's giving? But I'm like, but it's in front of 200 people, and like I gotta make sure this is good. And like, and there's been times where it just goes like someone stomps too hard, and like the wiring goes off, and then the screen goes blue. I'm just like, motherfucker. Like this is what it's like flashbacks for me. I'm just like PTSD. I'm just like, fucking get this, and then I get even worse. So, but yeah, no, I have those dreams. You have dreams, especially playing live about stuff going wrong, or you're joining it's like, all right, you're playing in Cannibal now on drums, and now you have to learn the song. You're going on in like 5 minutes. You got to like learn all the songs on an instrument you never played. And it's just it sticks with you a lot,
It does, because it sucks ass when it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like everyone's like, oh, cool, good set, bro. I'm like, fuck, no, like don't even tell me that. You know what I mean? And like, like your boys like in the band, like they're chill about it. Obviously,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna crucify my homeboy because he fucking missed a note. Like
Right.
But they all know. And it's like
We all fear.
Yeah.
We all fear the train wreck, dude. We all fear the failure. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So that's what's coming up in your guys' dreams. I've had it too.
Anthony's
oh no,
There it is, dude.
Oh, dude.
and we've all had our versions of nightmarish dreams where we're on stage and everybody around you is playing something you've never heard, and you have to come up with something or be a fraud.
See, that's the nice thing about drums is like legit, just when in doubt, blast it out. You know what I mean? Like, like as long as you start and stop at the same time, like you're probably pretty good, But just kind of keep ripping it, and then they'll figure out that you don't know what's going on at some point, hopefully, But like, I mean, there's all sorts of shit you can do about that too. And the other thing that's nice, like, people say like being a drummer is like super hard or whatever, and like, I mean, there's aspects of it that are like extremely difficult, obviously, but like one of the nice things, like I tell, like fucking Nico from Iniquitous Deeds, I've been saying this for years, is like, dude, like I know 80% of every song that we're ever going to play because it's just a variation of one of like 4 kinds of blast beats. You know what I mean? So I already know all of our, like the vast majority of our catalog. I just got to like figure out this, like the things to stitch it together. Like you guys got to worry about like fucking notes and shit.
Yeah, totally.
That's weird.
Yeah, if you chose a different jump for a beat or something, like, oops, well, I just did that, but I'll catch back up and understand where it's, and if someone's doing a solo at the wrong time, it's like nightmare. It's like nightmare.
Eric Andre style.
Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Anthony's stoned and I'm drunk, so we have to figure out where we're at.
And I'm having a great time with you guys, though.
Yeah, no. But
we're chilling, dude.
No, so we'll talk about like maybe did you join your first band? Did you help create your first band? How did that go?
I'm like pretty sure. Actually, I can't believe I don't like know this 100% at this point. I feel like an idiot. Okay, my first band was definitely like Iniquitous Deeds, but for some reason that just doesn't feel right because it feels like super long ago. I don't know, it's crazy. But like, Nico is the first guy I ever like jammed with, I think. No.
Whoa.
That feels weird because it is wrong. Okay, yeah. I had I was like massively into, you guys know like Behold the Octopus?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I've had them
and
on.
shit.
Yeah.
Come on, we just
Yeah.
calling on, dude.
Oh,
Calling for
dude.
shit.
Oh, yeah, you just had them on. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like massively into that shit when I was, you know, like 15, something like that. And I wanted to write some shit like that with like Primus and Bungle, you know?
Fuck yeah.
So I wrote like a shitload of songs. I don't know really how many of them are good or whatever, but this is just that Guitar Pro generation coming back up. Like I just wrote a fuckload of songs. And then I found Sam Arroyo, I think on Craigslist, dude. This dude I used to jam with back in the day. Shout out Sam. And yeah, we would like jam those tunes, and you know, nothing ever really came of it or whatever. But that was my first time like jamming with somebody, and we recorded stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. I was playing so significantly above my level at the time that it was kind of just jumbled and total ass. But the first like real band experience I would say would be Iniquitous Deeds, and that's with Nico.
So you made me want to ask you a question. We were talking about rabbit holes. So you talk about Behold the Octopus, and now it makes me feel like we didn't really get to how you would have gotten to that, because we talked about Slipknot and getting into it more extreme metal,
Going avant-garde kind of.
getting down that Behold the Octopus rabbit hole. How did you come across that?
So I think, okay, we've all seen the worst band in the world video on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's how I came across it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then, I mean, I was just like, this is so stupid, dude. No way. And then I would like watch it because I thought it was funny. And I was like, you know, I'm going to listen to it with drums, because I was just calling a mic, playing it solo or whatever. And so I was like, it's still stupid. This still sucks. And then I kept listening to it, and I'd be like, oh, wait, that riff's cool. But the riff lasts like 1 second, you know? And they're like, 30 seconds later, like, that's another cool little chunk. And then I just kind of like pieced it together. And I was like, oh, yo, this is so badass, dude. Like, I love this so much.
Mm-hmm.
With no drums, it just made it sound silly. Like it was kind of like, what they were doing is so bananas. And then like to not have drums like fucking leading it kind of, or like have being the backbone of it, it just sounded like doesn't make sense what you guys are doing. But then hearing the band with drums, it just totally glued it together.
Yeah, totally, dude. And it still took me a while, but I think what set me up for that was like how I got into what I would consider to be like actual death metal, which is Hate Eternal is like the first death metal band, you know?
Yeah.
Was I did for in like 7th or 8th grade. I guess this is my first band. Not really. Like it was just me and a couple buddies from school who were like into Slipknot or whatever. And so we had a band making fun of death metal called Death Fart, because we'd all heard like death metal, be like, this is so stupid, blah, blah. So we were fucking just jamming at my mom's house or whatever. And like our EP was going to be called like Diarrhea. You know what I mean? Like it was just stupid shit. But like, so for a school project in 8th grade, we had to do like a how-to video, and it was how to anything you wanted. And so it was a group project. So we all decided to do a how to make a death metal music video. Mm-hmm. So we like, I don't know, made some stupid shit and made a death metal music video. And at the end of it, I was like putting it together, and I was like, oh, I should put an actual death metal song in here, just to see what happens, like as like the ending credits roll or whatever. And somehow I stumbled upon Servants of the Gods by Hate Eternal off of King of All Kings, and I still thought it was like stupid and it was dumb or whatever. But I just in like editing it over and over again and watching it before submitting the like final project or whatever, I'd probably heard it like 40 or 50 times, and by the end of it, I was like,
gotcha.
This is pretty cool, dude. You know what I mean? And so very shortly thereafter, I discovered the Behold the Octopus, and I was like, oh wait, I just found this awesome shit by suffering through horrendous first listening experiences. let's see if the same thing like, not that it was intentional, but I think it kind of like helped it a little bit, you know.
Definitely.
But yeah, so I was like really big in like Behold the Octopus. Psyopus was fucking huge for me.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Mr. Bungle. I mean, Primus. There's like this. It's weird. It kind of like splits off with the death metal and the wacky. And
Yeah.
at some point, the death metal really became the primary focus. But I still love all that shit. Obviously. You know,
yeah.
That's just not the way that I like. That's not the musician I aspire to be anymore. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why. It just happened. You know.
Yeah, I mean, actually, from where you're living too, Primus. That's you know, Les Claypool's like right. That's like where all that shit's. I mean, that was actually my first favorite band was Primus as a kid because my dad was a bass player. I had a VHS of Cheesy Home Video. I used to come home.
Yeah.
I used to watch it before I went to school in the morning, and then I'd watch it when I got home for like 6 months. I like had it. I have it memorized still. You know,
And
but it's still like.
I was about to say, shout out Tony Hawk, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's still one of those like it's a style of music that's like it's theirs. You know, it's like like I never aspired to be a to play like a Primus style of music, but I've always just like it always cracked me up and made me go whoa and like it gave me a bunch of ups and downs and yeah, shout out Primus. Yeah. I love the Primus sucks thing where they were like, you know, everyone just my friends are just like listening, like, why are they yelling you suck to Primus? And I'm like, it's a fun little like, you know the joke and they don't. It's like, ooh, it's like that's what all the fans yell, and you don't know that, and you think that everyone's pissed, and I'm like, they're actually really stoked, you know, and you know, Buckethead came from that same kind of area too, of just all these crazy wacky people, you know.
What was the name of the album he did with Les?
Bucket of Burning Brains. It's Monsters and Robots maybe, but I don't know. But Buckethead's got like 900 albums now. So,
I know, but that was like the one we came across because of Les Claypool, really.
Yeah, he's the one that showed me Buckethead for sure. That was, but yeah, no, that's Primus doesn't get. Yeah, exactly. It's like a comment like this. Primus sucks. That's their fucking like cheering.
That's their motto.
And people are just like, oh, and
they actually don't.
Yeah, and I made a cool thing with them. It was like people were like that were kind of like in it to just be like, oh, what's the next cool thing? Oh, they suck. I'm out. And like the fans were just still there going like, no, dude.
Yeah, they take it at face value. It's like you don't get the joke, dude. It's ironic that we're saying it, dude.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of people don't shout out Primus enough, I would say, because I feel like it, you know, I just saw Les Claypool, me and Casey, and we saw Les Claypool play like a jazz set, and it was fucking insane. It was just so much fun.
I want to add to that because what you're saying totally makes sense to me now, because bass being a forward thing in music at that age for me wasn't like normal, and hearing Les's bass out in front listening to those songs, I'm like, oh, bass can be the driving point of a song as well, you know. And then you get to Mudvayne too. It all makes sense, dude. It all works together. You just got to have the right puzzle pieces for yourself that fit together, that get you down that road a little bit further, you know.
Yeah, dude. I think just also like being willing, kind of what whoever that is saying, like just doing different shit, you know.
Yeah,
like that's the cool stuff.
To be weird.
Yeah, you know. And then, you know, not even just like weird in only like a very outward, like wacky kind of way or whatever, but also like when you like pay attention to like what's going on, it's like, oh, this is fucking, what do you mean the song is just one bass riff for like 4 minutes? I didn't even notice that, you know what I mean? Like, but it's fucking awesome. It rules. I don't know. I love that shit, you know.
Right.
Definitely. So that kind of led you down the Behold, and you went Psyopus.
Yeah.
So how far down the rabbit hole did you go with like the kind of more avant-garde stuff?
I in terms of shit that I would like call myself a fan of still, and it's like not even, I don't know, the latest band I remember discovering that I would still say I'll put on their music every once in a while at least would be like the Red Chord, but that's not
Oh fuck yeah.
fully like fair to lump them in with that. I just kind of
Yeah.
associate them
album?
with that. Honestly, my favorite is Fed Through the Teeth Machine, dude.
Oh yeah, that's insane. And I
Fuck,
actually
dude.
really got
Right.
into that actually in 2010 or something. I was like,
That's
what
a
the fuck?
fantastic album, dude. Yeah,
Totally.
it's great. Yeah,
Because I mean, Fused Together, is Fused Together the album name and Revolving Doors or something?
I can't
That's
even remember.
that
Fused,
first album.
yeah.
I remember like hearing that, and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like
Mhm.
you know, the
Dreaming in Dog
Ears.
Ears.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
those.
Look
remember
at
hearing
us
that,
saying it
like-
at the exact same time.
Yeah, like 2002 or something, 2001, and just being like,
Yeah.
whoa, and they're kind of lumped in
Important.
together with the Hate Breeze and the Poison the Wells, and I was like, they're completely like on the technical crazy level of metal, you know, like they were blowing everyone's mind. I thought, you know, like that's completely a different style, and yeah, that was. And then hearing that album, someone was like, no, hear the Teeth one. What did you say? What was it called?
Fed Through the Teeth Machine.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I listened to it about 6 months ago, and I was like, "Holy fuck! This is like, if this came out today, people would lose their shit." Like, this
It's
is
fucking great, dude.
yeah,
It really
insane.
rules. It's cool because it's one of those albums that like has a super strong vibe. Like
Mhm.
there's nothing that really quite sounds like that, you know. And I
Mhm.
get like you're like, oh, it's fucking blast beats and trem picking. It's like, no, dude,
No.
like you know,
Not
there's
at all.
nothing that really
More than
sounds
that.
like this, you know. So I really like that album. That's like about as far because that came out I think 2009, which is when like Odd Senses came out from Psyopus. And I remember I fucking went to Rasputin the day that came out and like bought that. I called ahead and I love Odd Senses. That's a great album. But like that very shortly thereafter was kind of like where I dipped out from that paying attention.
Was it that one over at Winchester?
Winchester?
Was it in San
Willow
Jose?
Pass? No,
Willow
it was in Concord.
Oh yeah, the Concord one. Okay,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
Rasputin was like, I would travel to that Rasputin, like, and there was Tower Records right next to it. It was like Tower and Rasputin, like
Yeah.
fighting side by
Rasputin
side.
in Berkeley.
The
Yeah.
Rasputin I'm talking
City.
about it's actually right next to where I currently work, that Guitar
Uh-huh.
Center there. But like it was a Tower Records before, and Tower Records went under or whatever. So Rasputin bought it, and they just left the Tower Records sign.
I think I remember seeing that.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
a
just a point across.
Rasputin style
Yeah.
of
They're
conducting
like, we're
business.
Tower Records. Fuck it, just come in.
Yeah, dude. Fucking
We got the same shit. Just come in
Yeah.
and buy it.
Rasputin was really cool
I
because they
did
had like
find
a
some
real
cool shit there.
yeah, they had a real metal vibe to Rasputin. It was like kind of more focused. I'd walk in, see all kinds of metals, like flyers everywhere and stuff, and walk in
Yeah.
there. I know Amoeba is like our the big one in you know in San Francisco and stuff, but Rasputin had like I would find some real cool
The
stuff
one in
there.
the city, right? Yeah, the elevator,
Oh,
and the
shit.
metal was at the top floor. I think it was a 4-floor building, 4
Holy
floors
fuck.
of records, dude,
That's fucking insane.
and
Jesus.
CDs and tapes, and they put the metal all the way at the top. I just remember finding Agoraphobic Nosebleed records, looking out and being like, "Damn, we're up here pretty fucking high out the window," you know.
Man.
$6.99 for honky reduction. you
Oh, I
know?
wish I've been thinking about this a lot lately with not to get too into social media and stuff, but you know, if I could press a button, I would smash that thing to get rid of all social media and then have it no Spotify, nothing. We're just back. We're back, baby. You got to fucking find it. Like,
Ah,
you know,
that would
like
be- I think that people would get off their phones, dude.
yeah.
At least
That's
some
the
of
main
them.
thing.
The people
Yeah.
who are taking on music, and
I think
will
we're
be
starting
like,
to
"Oh,
find out
dude,
social media is like not good mentally for even adults,
Nah.
obviously not kids, but like
it's not."
I feel like I'm coming to this conclusion, but I'm still like every time I take a dump, I'm just like, well, fucking. So, I'm like, I wake up in the morning, I'm just like, I gotta scroll through like 900
Yeah.
pages. All right, I'm
Yeah.
up now. You know,
And
I
every
fucking-
video I send you is like 20 seconds long. You know,
no, me and you,
like,
I know it's because
the
Anthony
ADHD. We're training ADHD.
totally.
You know?
No, I
Yeah.
think it does train a lot of weird behaviors in children that people are seeing now, but I feel like in adults it hasn't been really studied. You know, it's like it's you know, anxiety, all the things go up with, you know, since that's been prevalent, and it's kind of like, all right, can we just like end all of it and just like start just give us MySpace, give us old MySpace back where you can't comment on people's comments, just like fucking you have a feed and you have your music and shut the fuck up. That's all.
Dude, the thing that pisses me off the most, and I feel like I've seen this more recently, is just like every one of these motherfuckers has something to say. It's like, it's like, yo, shut up, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching some fucking like super heartwarming video of some fucking dad and his kid or something playing little league shit or whatever, and someone's like, oh, it's like, mind your own business, prick. You know what I mean? Like, how do these people live their lives like that's? I don't know. That's not a social media thing. Like, but I fucking.
That's why I don't go on the comments of shit. You know,
no, it just pops up now.
I have your natural reaction to those things. Yeah,
pissing me off. But hey, I mean, I don't know, dude. Without social media, I'd fucking.
You'd probably be like
I'd be practicing blast beats right now. You know what I mean?
Like a millionaire without social media.
I doubt it.
With your talent level,
it's like a catch-22 where you don't necessarily we all recognize how much better we all kind of tasted life before social media. I'm
being a boomer too about it. I'm just like, we gotta get rid of it. You know what I mean?
But it is no, I know, but it's basically actually our main way we get guests for the show. We wouldn't be able to measurable do it without social media.
It's just measurable in like the decline of people's happiness, and that's where I'm like, we have measurements for it now. But then let's talk about gambling. It's like I'm just being devil's advocate when I say that. I would love to replace it with gambling.
The genie pops up, and the only wish I can give you is you replace your social media with gambling. You think your life would be better?
I think it'd be way. I mean, my personal life, I mean, not so much, but like, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like we'll find out more, and there'll be more studies done, and with depression and suicides going, not to get old and dark, but that stuff's like spiking, like with social media. When TikTok came out, it was still again, like with Facebook, it was like it went up, like mostly with like women, like children, like that's where like mainly.
I'm getting heady, but the gambling thing's real, dude. Like people are putting up pictures of themselves to get the social currencies. How many likes am I going to get if I put up? Oh, I got this. I'm gonna put this $100 voucher into the machine, which is my best picture I can get with all the filters, and then that how much is the currency that's going to come back? The likes, that's the different currency. It is
it's all just a brain tickle, dude.
It's a
Everyone's
dopamine.
trying to tickle their brain. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter how you do it. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Or a taint tickle, however you want to take
optimal, it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know about all that. But
if you do social media, then you get more taint tickles. I'm just kidding.
Duh, sign me up. Dude, all right, I'm done. Yeah. Fucking. No, I will say though, like, while you're talking about that, I realized it's like, dude, every single band I'm in, and every single band I think I've ever played with, especially since being an adult, like, is directly related to social media. Like, that's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
But we're talking about the duality. Sorry, I was just going to say the duality of things. There's always a good, positive thing in everything. You know? So definitely. that is a representation of the positive aspects of social media. We have direct connection throughout the world, dude. Like the whole point of this internet and the show is, not the whole point of the internet, but I'm saying what we're doing and putting this out on the internet is to get it across the world. And we wouldn't be able to do that without the connections that have been made by not me, because I'm a dumbass. I don't know how the fuck the internet works, dude. Is there?
Yeah, you're a social person. You're a social media person. No, but
I'm a social person.
I do think there's a lot of good. Obviously, it's like going to Detroit. There's really nice places in Detroit. There's really there's good places everywhere. Like as far, but I feel like there's always there's the caveat. There's the elephant in the room. It's like, all right, this is, and everyone complains about it. Everyone's like, I should get off my. their screen time. They're like, I do 6 hours, 7 hours a day. I'm like, whoa,
That's so brutal.
And I think the average, like between like a certain age group, I think it's like 13 to 30 or something. They do an average of like 8.5, 9 hours a day on their phone.
God,
like
damn.
that is banana. That's a job on your phone. That's like,
bro, I think about that, and like not even like the social media thing, but it's like, and it's hard to like communicate this without sounding like a fucking douche. But like, man, like I'm so glad that I have like something that I just always kind of like fall back on, like drums or fucking guitar, like something to always kind of like do. Because if not, what the fuck would I do?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that's a very just base level way of looking at it. You know, you talk about like the passion and like it giving you meaning and it's a pursuit of stuff like that. You know, I think about it. I was like, oh, dude, all these people, they just don't have that. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand, but it's like, brother, if you're on your phone 9 hours a day, just fucking scrolling through TikToks, like, God damn, I don't know. Like, that's not a pursuit of anything.
Just,
I don't,
dude,
you know,
Joel, you just bummed me out.
I was noticing people in line today, like at a place I was waiting, and I was like, all right, you know, there's a couple of elderly people, and they were not on their phones. You know, they're just waiting in line, staring at like the register.
Flip phones if they have a phone.
So they weren't on their phones. So they were just like, all right, what's the thing? And then all of the people that were like under the age of 50 were just like, it's like walking on the line, just like almost running into people. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I put mine down immediately. I got like embarrassed. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna sit here.
It's like an invisibility cloak to act like you just don't have to interact until
I would say
somebody
that
asks you for money.
I think phones might be the more bigger thing rather than like, you know, social media is just a product of that. But like people are just like, oh, comfortable. I don't know how to stand in line.
Yeah.
Just do this.
I know what you mean, but at the same time, it's like, what, you want them to fucking like scope out the inside of this fucking Chipotle or something they're waiting in line in? Like, they all look the same, dude. You know, you've seen them all. Like, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you know,
there's,
but like,
there's two sides.
it's not like really a moment that you need to be present in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know, but
okay,
I know. Yeah. That's the caveat. It's just like, what, you know,
when I'm traveling, like I played this, I got addicted to this game, like balls and something, where you just like shoot this ball thing around.
It's a game, dude.
Balls. Yeah, I'll find it.
Balls and something, dude.
Oh, bricks and balls.
Bricks and balls.
Not as sick of a game. Okay.
I know my stomach just got hurt.
Dude, let me look real quick. Let's see. I'm so addicted to it. I'm on.
It's like level 3000.
He's gonna say level like 70,
353.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I knew you'd be up that high, dude.
Insane. It's great. You just because it's just like this. I don't know. It's like it's better than scrolling or doom scrolling or you know whatever. Like I don't know. I do that too a little bit, but you know it's like it's nice.
I call them zombie games. I have a zombie game on my phone where I just zombie out and I'm just like hitting things, just fucking. And it's the coin. You remember in an arcade where you just drop the coin and then it pushes the coins forward and you're waiting for like. And you just do that, dude, and then prizes come up, and I just do that for like 5 minutes to just zone out.
Do you win pirate coins, or
it is pirate themed, bro?
You're coin based, dude.
That's all of Anthony's.
I know it's totally Super Mario Brothers, pirate treasure, all that shit just makes coins. You just
dude, Anthony's Instagram has like 2 pictures of coins. That's like his picture.
I know, it's so funny. It's so
he has like 37 kids, and he has 2 pictures of coins.
I'm the worst at posting about myself.
What is this?
Anything you really see on my Facebook too is just me being tagged in it. You know, that's literally it. You look at my timeline. Somebody else curated my timeline.
If you think of it like with the games, though, like back in the day, the Game Boy was kind of like a little bit like that. You know, you just like I was addicted to Skate or Die on the Game Boy, like the
nice
one.
Game Boy was the shit, dude.
Dude, that one's so fucking sick.
I was actually thinking about this the other day, like because I think about battery life and like because you know I'm just like gotta make sure everything's charged. You know, like I'm like always thinking about that. I'm like, what was the Game Boy battery life? You
You
had to
just
just put
gotta
in
have
like,
those Ziploc
Dude,
double
A's,
A's.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
was it
Hell
like
yeah.
2 hours? But though for like 4 batteries back then.
I don't know. I just know I had like 20 double A's in my backpack to be ready to go, dude.
Because now iPhones, you could just film for like 7 hours, and you're like, it's like, oh, I'm at 20% now. It's like, it's insane, you know, as far as like the technologies with batteries and stuff. Anyways, that's a deep rabbit hole. It's my
Game Boy
personal concerns with batteries, but I'm constantly always charging. I ask Osa,
Dude,
I'm just like,
check
gotta make
me
sure
out,
like
bro.
it's
You gotta get
70%,
the
I gotta charge
fucking this Anchor. Boom.
Okay.
Look at me,
No,
dude.
yeah, but that's too
Plugged
much
in right now,
thing.
ready to go with a digital 55% left. What up?
Damn.
That's
Look at you,
pretty
dude.
baller for the
Here's-
non-technological
Well,
guys. Pretty good.
Amazon, call Jeff Bezos, dude. He's on your fucking speed dial for everybody's got him on speed dial.
I can't not. I won't stop. Can't stop. But it's like 1 day delivery. It's like, oh, it's like 5 p.m. It's like it'll be here tomorrow. Like how? Like it's bananas what they're doing. But anyways, that's another social media thing. That's
Let's get back onto the
No, let's
guest.
talk about Amazon, guys. Yeah.
yeah.
dude.
So Amazon is a corporation. They were trying to sell books originally, right?
How do you like to tune your drums? Like, do you do?
There you
like,
go.
but, like, I guess specifically, oh, yeah, just I don't know. I guess all of them really, but just like toms and stuff. We had an interesting discussion with Matthew Palazzo, whatever.
about tuning toms.
Yeah, and I was hanging out with Joe Howard, you know, from Narcotic Wasteland, this last week when I was in Denver, and I was at his. I hadn't hung out with him before. It was
Shout
kinda
out.
cool. He's an awesome guy. It was super fun. We were up till like 2 a.m. just playing drums in his basement. It was sick. Or
Sick.
mostly he was playing, but yeah. Anyways, it was rad. Played a bunch of shit for me. It was super sick. But yeah, his toms were like kind of like super loose, like just by chance. It wasn't like on purpose, he said, but it just that kind of had that super loose sound where I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It kind of reminded me what Matt was talking about. Like, how do you tune your shit, or do you have any? I don't know.
I like them when they're like pretty flappy. Like my
Yeah.
floor toms are like
Okay.
basically like finger tight, you know?
Right. Okay.
Well, no, my floor toms are like literally finger tight.
Wow.
My racks are a little bit more than that. Yeah, I like them sounding wet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like fucking nice little boom. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. Just I feel like they kind of smack a little bit harder that way.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, it's the
You know?
same thing, dude. Because
Yeah.
I was feeling that too on this kid. I was just like the toms have that, and I was just like, oh shit, I've always like tuned them like, you know. I mean, they get loose and stuff, and so, but like I've never really like gone for that on purpose, you know.
I love it. I think I always just wanted
Yeah.
them to sound as big as possible. You
Yeah.
know? And so just
You guys
looser
tune-
means lower.
Tuned to notes at all?
I
Is that a
don't.
thing? Okay.
Some people talk about doing that. I don't. I mean, I try to make them sound good with each other, but I'm not going for like a fucking chord or anything.
Yeah.
You know?
It's more for like, if you think of Joel, like there's like a whole spectrum of like how drums can be tuned and stuff. And if you go to like drums with like really thin shells, like old school with like really thin, like just one ply heads tuned really high, like boom, boom, boom. Like
Mhm.
you can have more like melodic kind of thing. And so like
So
in
like
that kind of
higher pitch is
thing
more
for, like,
more important. Okay.
two- because you could hear like almost a chord between 2 or potentially 3 drums or whatever, but like, you know, like intervals, and you're like, oh, okay, it's gotta be in tune. But like, and you're playing like 80s like drums, like with heavy toms,
Yeah.
thicker shells, thicker ply heads.
You're going 280s, like, dude, he's out of tune, dude. He's not tuned with the guitar.
I've wondered about that. I've thought
Yeah,
about
exactly. Yeah.
you like doing shit like that, but I don't know, man. Anybody got time for that? You know?
Yeah. I don't
know.
play drums at all, so I've heard about the tuning of drums, and I've always been like, tuning. Okay,
It's
well, I
such a pain in
understand.
the ass anyway, dude. You know?
Yeah.
It really kind of sucks. But I've always been like a big like I've really liked the idea of like tuning for sound, not response. Like I play the pingy snare because I think a pingy high pitched snare sounds like the most violent. You know what I mean? And like that's what I want the drums to be, is fucking punishing and like violent and shitty sounding. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't know, it's not supposed to sound like pretty, like, yeah, fat snare is cool and stuff, but like with the Vitriol thing, it's like the the main pinger is now the side pinger, and that's cool. So I still get to do that. But the main one is much
Nice.
more of like a typical kind of snare sound, which I haven't really ever played. So that took some getting used to. But yeah, it's, it's harder to play because there's less rebound because the head's not as tight or whatever. But that's just kind of what has to be done. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just is what it is. You figure it out,
I guess it would be kind of like, I'm just relating because I don't play drums, but the guitar, like a pick. Like, do you do a floppy pick or do you like a harder pick, or like how does it rebound from the string kind of thing? That's kind of
string gauge kind of thing. I mean,
string gauge.
the thing that really is difficult, and I don't know that anybody really needs to make it this difficult, but like especially if you're playing like really like high tempos where you're doing mostly like fingers, and you're doing like a roll from your snare and you're going down your toms, like as you're going to these larger and lower tuned drums, using your fingers is increasingly difficult because you got to smack it harder. You're not getting as much rebound. So then I try to like incorporate more wrist, like on the fly or whatever. I don't know how successful it really is. It might just be more like a panic kind of scenario, but yeah, it is just tune the drums so they sound good, not so it responds well. Like I know a lot of people, especially with kick drums, a lot of people tune them like real tight. And I get it, but I fucking hate the way it sounds, dude.
What kind of kick pedals do you use?
I use Trick, Pro 1Vs, the Bigfoots. I've been using those forever. I think I've had them for like 11 or 12 years. And they've been fantastic, dude. Like it's funny, like today I just got my first replacement parts for those ever.
Whoa.
And it's like, dude, like to have something where you don't have to replace a single fucking part of it, like that's gotten a lot of reps in a lot of different places. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
but it also has to play for your style too. So you locked in with that and didn't have to, maintain much of it up until now. 12 years later, you said 12 years,
something like that. And it's literally, it's not even that it's like broken. It's just I'm going on tour soon, and I was like,
I finally want to tune it up.
Yeah, I just don't want it to fucking break on the road. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Tricks have been the business for a long time. I'm a big like set and forget kind of guy. People talk about changing settings fucking all the time. It's like, dude, I fear change, dog. Like I don't want to I don't want to be trying to like end up chasing my tail, It's kind of a similar thing to like the way like these are my pedals. I have them set up this way, so this is the instrument I play. It's the same thing as like these are my toms. I have them tuned this way, so this is the instrument I play. I just try to figure out how to play the instrument as opposed to necessarily trying to tweak even the sound of things to like help me. You know what I mean?
It's similar to like you talking about like what you're thinking about, like playing live. Like you don't want to chase the cymbal. Like if there's a stand that you don't chase the cymbal, that's my stand. Let's move on.
It's a better one for sure. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
I mean,
it sounds like you're more of a feel guy, right? It's
I don't know, man, because like I'm so like I understand how you would like think that, but like the way that I approach like practicing at this point is like it's very, very much like under the microscope,
grid.
Well, yeah, it's super grid oriented, obviously, just with like drums and shit, but like like I was talking about, like shoulders back, sit up straight, elbows tucked, I think about like the angle of my wrists. I think about like what I'm practicing now is like trying to get my fingers to like explode out more, specifically on my left hand, because I think I realized that like my fingers kind of get in the way of the stick rebounding. So it's like if the stick's coming, it's going to be like right here, and my fingers are only right here when I'm trying to like move them to blast, that's going to fuck up the blast beat. So I'm like, okay, so what is it? Is it really that I'm not gripping it hard enough, or is it that they're not getting out of the way? So then I've started like trying to focus on identifying those muscles and exercising those specifically, in essentially in order, like that's it, get out of the way of the stick, get out of my own way to kind of catch that wave and like just ride it. So like now a lot of what I'm doing is specifically oriented trying to accomplish that because I feel like I've identified that as like something that will be beneficial. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It's not so much like, I guess it's not really super feel oriented because I am very like nitpicky and like methodical about stuff. I think it's almost more about like keeping it true, if that makes sense.
But a lot of that you just explained was all physical. It was all feel. You gotta be positioned a certain.
You got me. Yeah.
You know? It really was all feel,
Yeah.
what you just had mentioned. So it although you might want to tell yourself you're not, and you still could be by the books outside of that, but you are paying attention to how everything is feeling.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah, I miss it because I was thinking about like when people talk about like, oh, playing with feel, or like, oh, like you jam with your band, you feel it out live or whatever. Like I've been playing to a click track live for, I don't know, 10 years now, you know, and I don't really ever want to go back. So I was kind of thinking of the playing with feel in that kind of sense or whatever. I guess I misunderstood you, but like, yeah, it is. You're right. It is very.
I always
physical.
took that playing with feel as I took it literally feeling what you're playing, you know, literally having a conversation with what you're playing physically in your body. And how are you going to speak it better? You got to feel it better. Well, how do I feel better? I got to tuck my elbows in. It gives me a better sense of, or more opportunity to play it this way if I feel it this way, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I've never thought of it like that. Fuck, I'll have to think of that because I mean, you're totally right. I mean, it is very much about how it feels. Because I've actually mentioned this a lot to a lot of people. We're talking about playing shitty sets earlier, you know, or like if you fuck up. I mean, 9 times out of 10 in my experience, you know, I'll play a set that I think is shitty, and I'm like, I'll be like pissed off or afterward or whatever, you know, like not happy with how it went, and then I'll inevitably there's some footage of it, you know, and then I'll see it, or even I'll seek it out to be like, damn, how bad was that, you know, and it's never really that bad. And so what I think I've realized is fucking crazy that you mentioned that because it's like, yeah, it's just that it felt bad to me. Like the notes were still executed. Everything was still done on time. Like the information was delivered. It just didn't feel the way that I want it to feel, like physically. And that's kind of what I realized is like, that's what's really going on when I feel like I'm having a bad set. And that could be like being tired or like, oh man, I ate that cheeseburger too soon before the set or whatever.
Right.
Or like my muscles cramping or something like that. It could be a number of things, but
yeah totally, dude. I mean, we all have off days, and those off days are what fuel us to continue in our journey to better ourselves as artists and musicians, you know. So having those days are just a little humbling reminder from the universe that you still need to keep going and get better than the day before. That's it.
Hell yeah, dude.
And to be able to recognize that you had a bad set too, that shows, you know, how far along you are, because there's people that lie to themselves every day, say they never had a bad set.
Yeah.
You know?
Good luck with that one.
But
oh yeah.
So
I mean, it sucks. It sucks to recognize, but I don't know, man, you got to keep it real.
I feel like I have heard back on like sets I thought that sucked though, and I'm like, oh shit, no, it did suck. It sounds like
oh yeah, I mean that's possible. Yeah,
I was like,
it's a possibility that can happen. But I think most of the times that guys at your caliber, Casey Howard, Matt, Joel, you guys all play your instruments at such a high caliber that when you get hard on yourselves about a certain performance, I always am the guy that sits outside of it as the vocalist, like, y'all did the fucking best tonight out of everybody. I'm
this wireless mic. He's all right. All right, bye guys. And you're all sick, dude. Let me
you know.
That's one thing about death metal drums though that's always tripped me out is the fucking, like you said, I remember you talking about like it's not it's because we were talking about like it's not difficult. You're saying it's, I forget what you said, something about it's not difficult, but I'm like, the fucking setup and breakdown to me is like that's
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like,
once you get
I
used to
get it. Like a lot of people talk about like, oh, I want a lighter
Yeah.
fucking amp. I want a smaller kit or whatever.
it
It's
just
like,
turns into like a little thing that's
Dude,
big. It's like, it's my
when,
Kemper.
yeah, it's
all
just
of
like,
the
sorry, like why does everyone just like fear effort so much? You know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah.
because
Like,
it's
seriously.
2024, Doug. Like, I just want to talk to a speaker and just tell it to play me a song. Like,
I get it. You know, like I understand that. I understand that it's like harder work, but like,
yeah,
why are we here? You know,
Yeah.
like we're not fucking going on tour because it's easy, dude.
Right.
It's, you know,
And no,
like,
I definitely helped. You know, I was helping
No,
you guys
he's so
blow it
stuck on
out,
that.
dude.
he's like, no, dude, it wasn't the mic. I still help.
No, because
But
I'm
no,
thinking
it's-
about that heavy ass fucking cymbal bag that Casey had, dude. That shit
No,
was
I always
crazy.
grab drums. If you're in a band and you
You
gotta
just grab it.
drums.
It doesn't even
Grab
know.
whatever's. It's like moving. You grab what's in
Even
front
if
of
you
you,
have
and then
no
you take
idea
it.
where to put it, dude, just bring it in the building, dude, and just
Yeah,
have
yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
tell you where to put it somewhere, just so it, you know, you contributed, dude.
I have a statement. I think that Joel should take up drums. I think it would be. I think Joel should get like a little like electric drum set or something.
want
for
to.
your-
I
for
actually
your
want
new
to.
He's got
house.
it in him, dude.
And I feel like you could just get this crazy blast going because Joel's got the super fast like finger twitch on the desk, you know,
The silverback
it's like
blast, dude.
300 beats a minute, like, fucking, like crazy. I just think Joel,
I
you
can't
could
do it
like,
right now.
yeah, do it.
I can't even. I cut my finger, so
I heard it.
We'll get him a special you know
Um,
how at you know at the sushi restaurants where they got the connection thing for the chopsticks for kids to be able to use the chopsticks, right? We'll get that for the drumsticks for Joel to have a double-sided snare where he could still do the same thing that he's doing on the table with his two fingers, but he just
it's slowing. No, I'm getting older. It's like my twitch is slowing. It's it's kind of like how I judge where I'm at in life. I'm just like I'm like the twitch is kind of going down, dude. Like I don't know if it's
no, dude. I think if we built something like
Casey
that,
got
maybe you might build it back up. Oh, Casey, he ducked out on that.
he might have got disconnected, but he was
Oh.
sitting there and all frozen, and then it went away. But no, it was. I remember like me and Naveen hanging out at a party a long time ago, and like I showed him like my Twitch. He's like, "What the fuck is it?" And I was like, "Really? Is that crazy?" And I'm like, "I don't even whack off with this hand. What are you talking?" But
You should try
no,
it.
I mean, it's like, "Ugh." but no, it's one of those things. Yeah, I was like just in. I remember it came from doing mushrooms. I remember and we were hanging out with a bunch of friends like in a three kind of like little triangle, and I was like one of my first times doing it, and I was like getting these like secret powers, I thought, and I just all of a sudden
Whoa.
started like twitching my hand so fast it was making like a hum noise.
Whoa.
Sick.
And everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, "I don't even know, dude. I don't know what's going on." And like,
And then you still were able to do it after? You did gain a
No,
superpower, dude.
no, I didn't. I mean, I guess it's fast to like drummers and stuff, but I didn't think that because I remember like play a show with Odious on guitar, and I remember Dan Kenny was right in front. And he was like, "Dude, you're fucking picking so fast. Like that's not cool." And I was like, "I'm just like twitching." I got the alternate picking down, and then I didn't. I wasn't like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I was like picking at some sort of speed, like that wasn't measured, at all. There he is. But like, yeah, it just was like a twitch. It was just a random twitch that I had, and not to like brag about. I don't ever do it
Go
enough,
off.
but
I don't know,
But,
man.
yeah.
I know. Do you guys know Paul McGuire?
yeah, he was
He's
a
from
tour
Cerebral
manager.
Bore. Yeah, he's tour manager for like Dying Fetus. Or no,
That's
he
right.
Fetus
Yeah.
Sanity. He did some shit with Dying Fetus before.
Yeah, I've met him before.
Um,
For sure.
That guy, fucking A, he's got that twitch like a motherfucker, dude. Like, I'm talking like last time I saw him, we put a metronome to it, and it was like 340. Like it was
Jesus.
insane, dude. It's sick as fuck.
Wait, Guttural wants me on guitar, dude. If I was on guitar, we'd just have to be playing the beginning of Wish You Were
Big
Here,
Floyd.
dude.
Pink Floyd cover band. I'll just
Blast.
blast over Pink Floyd like dun, 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 dun.
That would actually be sick, dude. I mean, it sounds like it would be what's that? Burnt by the sun. They would do some shit like that. Like
They do weird covers like that. It's been a
Yeah.
long time since I've listened to them.
all
Rock,
right,
that's a
sorry, another.
obscure cut up. But do you guys ever fucking play Monopoly? So
That's not
we're
that
back at-
obscure.
I mean, as far as iniquitous deeds, that's actually, I mean, even Scott Carstairs came in here and was like yelling iniquitous deeds because that's we've been
Shout out
yelling it for a long
Nico
time.
too.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
oh yeah.
Nico's been so sick
guitar
on
track?
all of his art, dude.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time he
yeah.
posts some shit, I'm like, damn, that guy is just in the lab all the time. Just
So how did you
working on
meet
shit.
him? Because you said that's like your first, I mean, official kind of quote unquote band.
Yeah.
Like, how did you run into him?
I met him when I was in high school through a buddy of mine at the time, Wes, who was the first bass player for Iniquitous Deeds.
Okay.
Shout out Wes. And he was like, yo, dude, he knew I played drums, but he somehow knew Nico. I don't really know how, but he was like, yo, you should fucking play drums with this guy. And I was like, all right. And then Nico and I like talked on MySpace. And yeah. Nah, it must have been, it was MySpace, I think. It was a long time
Yeah.
ago. And then we met up and like we were just like, all right, what songs do you know? And he was like, we were both like big in Origin at the time. It was like, I don't know, you want to, staring from the abyss or whatever.
Mhm.
And so it was just like, yeah. So we just like played that like 4 times. It was like, all right, later. And then like we just like he had like songs written or something, and I would write drums to him, and then it just kind of all became more and more band-like as time went on. Like I don't really know that it was like a super like concerted effort by like either party at the time, and I know we both wanted to do it, but yeah, I don't know, shit just kind of like kept happening. And then we just fucking hang out all the time and smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a fucking like that era was like super fun. And then obviously, we had an EP release that we fucking don't like. And then, the album in like fucking almost 10 years ago, bro, like 2015, that shit came out. And then did like a couple tours and stuff. And then here we are, like almost hoping to release another album soon, but
Yeah, talk about that.
Joe,
Talk about that.
dude,
yeah.
what's going on with the album?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like done basically, like writing wise, we're gonna put the little bits and pieces on it and shit. Like that's kind of where we're at right now. But like, yeah, the meat and potatoes is there. And dude, his guitar shit is wild, dude.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's so different. It's so different than I think.
How is it different? How would you say it's different? How would you say like what the styles changed? Or is it...
It's much less technical in the sense that people generally think of like technical music. Basically just like heavier, catchier, weirder was really kind of like what we wanted,
All right.
I especially with like brutal death metal, always really liked the like really obscure kind of shit, the like otherworldly kind of stuff. And so
Yeah.
I always really enjoyed like that kind of vibe. And he kind of just figured out how to like make that vibe in like a totally different way that I've never heard anybody else do before at all, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, the songs are fucking insane, dude. Like it's crazy as hell, bro. I'm really pumped,
dude. We need to have a part 2. We need to have you when it finally comes out. You and Nico need to come back on and talk about it more.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm
after
fucking...
we have maybe a little pre-listen situation so we can all talk about it, dude, because it sounds interesting.
You know what's gonna happen? I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
like Cannibal is going to take you guys out.
That'd be
I already know that's
what?
gonna happen. I'm already calling it. It's a tour in 2025.
2035
Cannibal.
because it's going to be like
2035. 2029. I'll go to 2029. Fucking Cannibal. Hopefully everyone's still, around because they're older. But
yeah, dude, they're gonna be
No, I'm
around
kidding.
forever, dude.
I'm kidding.
They're gonna pull a Ozzy, and all of them are gonna be playing still.
They could pull Frank, where Frank did like to me, Frank, I remember like the speech that he gave in Oakland was on the last tour, and he was like, I'm not gonna be out here like being wheeled up and just be like, he's all my time's up, dude. I'm done. Like I feel like I can still do it at a high level right now, and I don't want to find out when I can't. And just like the speech he gave, I was like, damn, that actually makes a lot of sense. I actually like that a lot. A lot of people will kind of like be like, well, this is my only avenue. I need to keep going until the voice is gone and all the things. And then we're just like, and there's certain people we can mention, but one that roasted me. But there's there's certain people.
Dude,
Yeah, totally.
I'll take it.
But yeah, it's like it's a cool retired, like a sports person going like.
I was about to say it's like very Jason Kelsey,
Yeah, exactly. Just being like, or like go to John Elway, like he's like wins the Super Bowl, he's like I'm out, and just like you win a Super Bowl and just be
best
like,
case
all right,
scenario.
dude. Yeah. I won I don't want to go to the next season and like get my ass kicked, like have it be embarrassing when I retire. Like I'm at the top. All right, bye.
I don't know.
What Frank
Somebody
did.
like Frank, I think Frank he had some more in him, dude. I think that lemon.
He definitely does, but I feel like it's respectable. The move, it's like a respect.
I know. He saw. I'm sure it's just like family and just wanting to just go and live a life and not have to worry about touring and going to the recording studios. You just want to live a life, dude.
Yeah.
And that's totally where it's at. As far as capability, I think that man could do it his whole life. That voice,
like 90, it's going like.
I don't think how could Frank Mullen lose that? He would have to just lose his vocal cords in order to not do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the forefathers of.
He's blessed with that ability.
Imagine
kind of like
Eric Rutan at 90, dude.
He'll probably go to 90.
All like gray, like his hair.
But he'll probably still. That guy is that guy's an athlete for music.
Yes,
he is definitely like is.
I know. That's what I always told people. That's when it was the last time. I was like, that's the death metal right there,
dude. And him and fucking Pat O'Brien, bro. Just like
Pat O'Brien.
Oh my god, dude! Watch that frantic disembowelment video where they're just jamming in the studio, and like just dude's just like you can see like this much because his hair is just like in his face. You know what I mean? Just like that's death metal. Yeah, that's
so when we had Ron Jarzenbeck on the show, Ron was just all dude that frantic disembowelment thing like blew my mind. Like I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Just even live cannibalism. That was as a kid. Live cannibalism was my favorite live death metal thing still to this day. It's like it's Live Intrusion by Slayer, live cannibalism, where everything still sounds great.
DVD, dude.
And you're just like, I don't even know if any of those things are on DVD. They're just like VHS.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
it's definitely on DVD.
Live Intrusion might not be. That was like 96 or something. They had NFL Films record Slayer, and it's like, Jesus, like the best fucking it's gangster footage. Yeah, I'm just like, whoa. I watch it to this day. I'm like, there's a part of the song they do, Slayer, At Dawn They Sleep, and I'm like, it freaks me out to this day still. We're like Tom Arai's going, kill. He's like looking, and he's like looking at the whole crowd, and I'm just like, what? He's like fucking in it, dude. And I'm like, I just got chills just now, just even talking about it. But live cannibalism, that's my favorite death metal, like live, because that's not like a thing, like live death metal DVD releases nowadays.
Yeah, bands don't do the DVD things anymore, really. Like the last one I watched was what was the latest Cannibal one? Was it Centuries of Torment? Is that the one where they're interviewing everybody and shit like that?
Yeah, the big box set one, was it? The box set? Yeah.
I remember I felt like such a fucking idiot, bro. Like the whole time they're like, showing what's going on and like interviewing people, and it'd be like, so and so, and underneath it'd be like their band name or whatever, And then like I saw some dude pop up, he's talking or whatever, and just say, "Oh, fucking, Billy Joe," and underneath it said "friend." And I was like, "What the fuck? That's a shitty band name." And I saw like 15 more people say, I was like, "How fucking big is this band, dude? Friend? What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh, there's friends in the band." Okay, never mind.
Just a friend, just a buddy.
Yeah. Took me a while, but that whole thing is sick as fuck. I wish bands would do that, but I kind of feel like it's not possible to like gain that level of like notoriety anymore. At least I don't understand how that could be done. Just with the internet. And,
well, I think that there's still room for making the discography, but now it's just put out on the internet, put out on YouTube. Basically, when you're done, you invest your money and then put it out, and hopefully people watch it.
Bands get like mega famous, like through social media. It's like a blow up in social media, like, and deserved for a lot of bands for sure. But it's like it can happen. Like look at fucking Lorna Shore. Look at bands that like just exploded with one song. I mean, obviously I love Sleep Token and Lorna Shore, but those two bands just fucking exploded. Like it's like to the point where Sleep Token had more listens than Metallica last year. like out of nowhere, going from on their like third album, just exploded. Like every fucking show they play is sold out within 2 minutes. It's mostly bots buying them and then reselling them, but still, like it's kind of, even in comedy, like I saw Shane Gillis. I just hung out with Anthony, but I saw Shane Gillis in Lincoln, and that sold out in 3 minutes. You hit a certain like popularity, and then the bots kick in. They just buy all the tickets and then they resell them, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" I remember like being in line. I was texting Anthony at the time, just like, I'm in line, like at the online Ticketmaster line. It's like I'm like 700th in line. Like I think I'm gonna get a good ticket, but it's nowadays. First of all, can we talk about fucking Ticketmaster, like, and buying Live Nation?
Stupid, dude.
The monopoly that they have,
dude.
like, it's.
Dude, what's fucking wild about that shit? I saw, so like with Vitriol, we did the second half of that Morbid Angel tour last year, which was so fucking awesome. It was so insane, dude. It was fucking crazy. Awesome. But I remember when that tour like first got announced, like I knew about it obviously. Like when it was announced to the public, I was like, tickets were available. I was like, all right, see what the ticket prices are or whatever. I didn't realize they had like surge pricing for tickets. Like the fucking Uber. Dude, it was like $140 for like general admission. I was like, what the fuck, dude? There's no.
They judge on how much the demand is, the supply and demand. They'll take, all right, demand's high right now, so we'll charge more.
And then Ticketmaster's like anti-scalpers, yet they're the scalpers of the internet.
Yeah, we hate scalping so much, we're gonna do it first, so you guys can't do it.
I know. We're gonna scalp all of your pockets.
As we're scalping, we're gonna say, dude, they're fucking trying to break the law over here, dude. But don't worry, if you buy it from us, it's insured, it's all good. You're gonna get your money back, blah blah blah. But you got to pay us 35% on top of it. And
it's crazy.
The number one racket too with that. I mean, let's just check real quick. I just want to show this to everyone. So they're 22 billion. See, they're up 33.6. Like, dude, they're making billions of dollars off people,
dude.
And it's fuck. But the thing is, one thing that's kind of like fucked me up about Ticketmaster is that if you buy a ticket, let's say you can't go. Let's say you want to resell it. So you buy a ticket, you pay the fees.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I'm a big football fan. I've paid fees of like $250 per ticket before.
Holy fuck.
And then you want to resell them, they charge another fee for that. And they go like, let's say if you want to resell them, it's like, all right, how much do you want to sell them for? And you're like, I don't know, like 500 each. They're like, cool, you'll get 4 like 08. Like we're gonna like fucking take 90 something bucks from each ticket. On top of the fees that you already paid. You already paid them hundreds of dollars of fees, and they're going to take another fee
Fucking
I'm
double
like-
dipping, dude. Yeah,
It
dude.
wasn't like that in the beginning. I might have a Mandela effect thing going on, but it feels like they've been hitting us with like another % each year since our adolescence, Joel.
Oh yeah, it used to be like what, like an $8 fee when we were younger.
Yeah,
Like,
it was something
like 60
nothing
bucks, $8
crazy.
fee. Yeah, now it's like you're paying like it's like 20% almost. It feels like it's ridiculous.
That's
Like,
insane. Yeah,
I know. I think they should boomer Joel again. I think we should like get people back to like, remember when you had to go to the store, like the warehouse or the store and go buy the tickets in person and have like physical tickets?
I don't
feel like
remember that, to be honest with you, but
I swear to God it happened. I swear. But no, it used to be like you had to like stand in line with a bunch of fucking people and be like, all right, like go get tickets. Like it used to be like there's no phone to be like beep. It was just like I feel like you almost have to go back to that.
That's never gonna
But
happen.
still, people will still sell those, for ridiculous amounts.
No, we don't move backwards. It's us boomer boys need to catch up. That's what everybody else is gonna just say,
Yeah. They're like, dude, $500. Like you said, I remember Trevor was like, Rage Against the Machine was getting back, and he's like, I was like his big band when he was a kid, and he bought tickets from Ticketmaster, and he spent for 2 tickets that were not even close to the front $980. And I was like, oh, you're raging against the machine so hard.
You're raging against the machine.
You are feeding the machine. Like, you are just a machine feeder, dude. But they were like turned out to be, because he was like in a line of like 5,000 people. They turned out to be like the certain tickets that donate some money or something. They didn't tell him. They were like, yeah, dude, your tickets are fucking like $430 each. He's like, sick, dude. That's gonna.
Where are they playing?
Yeah, what the fuck?
They broke up, but they were playing at Oakland Arena or no, I think something like that. They were like planning on playing, and just looking at tickets, I had a ticket somewhere in my house that was the Tibetan Freedom Concert. It was Beastie Boys, Smashing Pumpkins, the Fugees, Rage Against the Machine, fucking like all these like humongous bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like, and it was like $38 or something. Like, it was like, I mean, with inflation, well, let's give inflation its part. So it was $70, for all those bands. And now it's like, 1,000, like it's insane. It's just getting out of it's monopoly, and I don't know. There's not like they got to figure out a way to like calm that shit down, because
there's more layers that have been added. Everybody, there's more slices of the pie being taken, And the pie is secretly being enlarged so they can take bigger slices.
Yeah, and they have like a mafia kind of control over the big venues. Like if you're gonna be like, no, I don't want to use you, they're like, well, you're not playing here.
Yeah,
they have.
Live Nation owns a lot of places.
Totally,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
Crazy.
They're like, oh, you want to go somewhere else? We'll hire everyone else and do it all on your own per show.
Good luck, buddy. Yeah,
I know. It's pretty fucked up. But it's
Boys,
such
I gotta tinkle real quick. I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, no, I pissed twice.
Everybody else would just say capitalism, dude. That's how you do it. Just capitalism.
It's just getting out of the point where it's like, well, you have 2 major companies controlling all of tickets. It's like for sports, for all the decently big bands, for stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. They just completely fuck people over. They're like, well, we can, and people will pay it. It's supply and demand. It's like people will pay. Like I took my dad to I didn't take him. I bought tickets to a Chiefs game that was Chiefs and Cowboys. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. We're gonna fly out, meet there. Tickets. I wasn't even on the 50-yard line. I was like pretty high up. Not good tickets. The fucking final price from Ticketmaster was $1,600 for 2 tickets,
dude.
And I was like, well, that's my dad. It's like a memory I'll never forget. We're gonna do it, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, like
that's $800, dude, a person. And then you're like, fuck it, who cares about the $20 beers and the fucking
at that point
hot dog?
And then you go and get in there. No, it's like I was just telling Anthony, like, you know, my dad and I are football fans. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. And I was like, let's, because we meet up. He lives in sorry, I hate the 49ers. But
dude, come on.
the only reason why I hate the 49ers is because
I gotta go, guys.
He liked him when Montana played for him.
Yeah, Montana, when they traded Montana, I followed him to the Chiefs as a little kid. So yeah, see, I'm not that big of an asshole. I'm not like I like Taylor Swift, and I'm that's a new thing.
Montana's your Taylor Swift.
Whatever happened to fucking red and gold till I'm dead and cold, baby? Come on now. What we talking
what happened was your fucking owners fucking going for Steve Young over Joe Montana.
Yeah.
But as a little kid, that my dad brought me down to like watch Joe Montana warm up as a kid, and I was like, sick. That's the fucking sickest thing I've ever seen. It's like I've seen Michael Jordan live, I've seen Joe Montana live. So I was like, just seeing him like from 10 feet away, just like throwing a ball as like a 6-year-old. I was like, this is the sickest part of life. Like, I don't know. This is like the peak. This is the peak. I'm at the peak now. And then they traded him. I was like, fuck the Niners, as a little kid. And my dad was a Cowboys fan. He's like, yeah, dude, fuck the Niners.
Fuck your dad, bro.
It's funny because I ended up being friends with Dwight Clark, RIP, like the made the catch. He used to come into my work all the time, and he'd give me sign stuff. Yeah, it was. I took all the pictures down, but I'm moving in a month. But yeah, he gave me a bunch of pictures and stuff signed. He was a sweetheart. I loved the guy. I'd talk to him like weekly, and actually even he gave me a signed picture because I told him, I was like, after Alex Smith got hurt and Kaepernick got put in, I'm like, watch, Chiefs are gonna get fucking Alex Smith now. And then we ended up getting him. And he just stole like, all right, that was sick, dude. And he gave me a bunch of signed shit and I got to hold all the Super Bowl rings. He was a fucking rad dude. But and he ALS took him, which sucks.
I know,
but
horrendous,
that's But yeah, I was like all in, and then they fucking churned their back.
Get your heart broken, bro. I understand.
Yeah. And my dad was there for he never told me. He told me like 10 years ago. I've been watching for 35 years. But like he's all, I was at the game where the catch happened. He was like, he finally he told me he was at the game where I had the pictures all over, like the signed pictures. He was like, I was sitting right back there when that happened. I was a Cowboys fan and it sucked so bad.
That's why I didn't tell you.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny that he randomly broke it to me.
That's fucking awesome.
But yeah, no, it's just with the ticketing though. So I was like, meeting my dad, $1,600 for 2 tickets in Kansas City. And I was like, and they weren't that good. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they advertised as 500 and something, but with the fees, it was like 16 or ridiculous. And I was like, well, it's my dad. He got me into football and I want to he lives in another state. So I want to meet up with him. Sounds like a fucking rad time,
Yes,
so I was like, I gotta do it. But I was like $1,600 for 2 tickets.
But now after that experience, was it worth it?
It was totally worth it. But the thing is, that's where they get you though. It's like, like that shouldn't be I want to spend more money on our experience in Kansas City or something. Or going to go get the barbecue and doing all this stuff.
Yeah, go to a sick dinner, then
which we did. Yeah. So it was like a $5,000.
You got.
I know.
The sick dinner is where I'm at, dude. You gotta have the sick fucking dinner on vacation, at least one.
Yeah. No, you got to go to all the spots that people talk about and stuff. But I will say Austin has better barbecue than Kansas City. I will say that. That'll piss a lot of people off. But no, it's just like the ticket, 16. That's from Ticketmaster. I didn't buy a resale. That's from them. That's like the control of taking people's where's it going to end? People, Taylor Swift. Speaking of Kansas City. People spending $35,000 for a ticket.
So wild. There's no way that's worth it. But I don't know, man. I mean,
what would you do with $3,500 right now if somebody handed you $35,000 a ticket?
Yeah,
I'd buy a fucking car or some shit, dude. Yeah. Of timeshare.
You buy my car 8 times.
You can all buy my car too, dude. 2 times. So I'm leveling up on you. I'm doing this on you. I'm like, only 2 times, dude.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
But no, it's just where does it end? It's like, what are we gonna do? $50,000 tickets. Like,
Hey, we're fucked, bro. What do you want? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
and that you ever
know?
seen that video of Kurt Cobain like going like
Yeah,
finding
talking
out
about the Madonna tickets.
yeah,
Yeah.
for $50? He's like,
Yeah.
what do you think about her charging $50? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, $50? That'd be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bargain now.
yeah. So Vitriol came in. But no, I was thinking, I was like, oh shit, I'm on a fucking tangent. You're gonna call me. That's what my brain was doing. But no, so after Iniquitous, so did it go? Where did it go from there?
So from Iniquitous Deeds, I really just realized I loved like touring, you know.
Mhm.
It's for some reason like my favorite thing to do. And so I was like, all right, yeah, I like really want to do that. Things were taking a long time with the Iniquitous dudes to get rolling, as we're still in that process. Either way. So it was like, okay, at a certain point it became, I was like, all right, well, if I want to do this, I'm going to, go play with other bands. I realized I'm a drummer. I have like opportunities and stuff. So I started doing some like fill-in stuff, played live with Incinerate, I think was the first one I did a fill-in.
Okay.
Shout out to those guys. That was awesome. That's where I met. It's not where I met Sasha, but that's where I first met or started playing music with him from Gorgasm.
Right.
And then I did, I was like 2016, 2017. I did Putridity in 2017. That was awesome. Fucking love those guys. That shit was so insane, dude.
Okay.
And then I did a couple other here and there. Like I got to play with Inherent Disease, which was fucking sick as fuck for me.
Nice.
yeah.
Just one
When
time. in
what
Vegas,
era did you play with them?
I played one show. I did a fill-in show, Las Vegas Death Fest 2018, and that was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
That was one of those shows where I hated it because like my hands cramped up. It didn't feel right or whatever, but I'm super glad I got to do it. Those guys are all super cool. And obviously, Obi's my total boy.
Obi.
Oh dude.
Shout
awesome
out.
guy.
Obi's
Yeah.
great people, dude.
Obi rips, dude. And so that was really fun. And then after that was when I ended up joining Gorgasm, was 2018, right around that same time. And that was through Sasha, because Sasha had just joined. And then they were like, I guess, trying to like get out and tour more, and they were looking for a drummer that could do it. And they hit me up and was like, yeah, I want to be in Gorgasm. What are you talking about, dude? So I did that, and then I immediately started like trying to like, I said yes, and I was like, all right, I guess I better like start learning these songs. I was like, fuck, like, this shit is so hard, dude. But what I ended up working out, did a whole bunch of shit over the next couple of years with those guys, and then obviously COVID, and
Yeah.
everyone and their grandma, oh, we're in the lab, we're writing an album, and then like shit just kind of like doesn't really get it's hard, dude. It's hard, bro. Like fucking at that time, like the most recent lineup when COVID happened of Gorgasm was me in the Bay here, Sasha in Vancouver, obviously Damien in Chicago, and then Anton in Moscow. Like, what are we gonna do, dude? Like,
yeah,
there's nothing that can really be done,
Just
No.
chat.
There's no
yeah, dude.
there's no physical manifestation of that lineup.
No,
that
not at
moment.
all. It was awesome when it did happen. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like that style of music, like it's really like playing in a jam room together is kind of how that shit is like forged, I think.
Yeah.
And we muscled it out. Obviously, got the EP, which was supposed to come out today, actually, but due to like some like production difficulties and stuff, timelines, how it goes. It's like, we just pushed it back a little bit. So that's coming out,
Okay.
I think the 5th of April now, which is cool. But yeah, dude. So the Gorgasm thing, that was like, we did quite a bit for a little while, and we had a lot like being booked, and then the Rona came in and fucking knocked all that shit out. I was like, man,
Right.
so, but it's all right, shit happens. You know, everyone's got the same experience with that. So
Yeah, totally.
I mean, everybody who could rose from the ashes of that, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, it's funny. I remember talking to my mom in like 2021. And I was like, man, I don't know what it is. It's hard to articulate. But like, I just feel kind of like weird and like not right, you know, like more anxiety, something. I don't know exactly what it was, but just something felt just a little bit worse about everything, you know, more depressed and shit like that. And she's like, well, yeah, duh, dude. Like, you haven't been doing like any of this shit that you've like put your entire life into for like 2 years. I was like, oh yeah. You know, like,
oh yeah,
yeah, like that makes a lot of sense, you know?
Totally,
And so then from that point on, I was like, all right, like this is definitely like what I like need to be doing. You know, was fortunate enough to link up with the Vitriol boys, and we've done in a short period of time some pretty fucking awesome
How did
shit.
you link up through?
Fucking Adam messaged me on Facebook because their second guitarist at the time was Mike Ashton, who was part of that like Red House kind of scene, like Dude's Garage. I'm not sure if you guys know about that. Yeah. So, you know, he'd played in various bands that I'd kind of grown up watching or whatever, and he was always a super sick guy and a sick shredder, and they were looking for a drummer, and he was like, hey, how about like this guy, you know? And so I went up and jammed out with him actually in like October of 2020 actually. Learned like 4 songs, something like that, and just kind of like rehearsed and stuff and hung out with a weekend with the dudes. And then basically I just kind of like, I don't know, I didn't like jump into it as head first as was like required of me. And so I was like, all right, I guess I like, it's like a no, you know, like I can't do it. And I fucking regret that seriously, because like if I had just like, obviously I'm in the band now, and obviously I fucking love those guys, and I'm like really proud of like what we've done. And it's done. That band has like changed a lot of things for me, which is fucking sick. And I like to have just 2 more years of that, I think would have been awesome. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up linking up like that. And then I played with my buddies, a couple of my buddies in a band called Splattered, and I did a fill-in tour with them on drums. With the Defeated Sanity boys, you know, love those guys. And Skeletal Remains, love those guys. And obviously Vitriol, you know. And so spending more time on the road with the Vitriol boys, and then we ended up kind of like chatting and stuff, and it was like, yeah, kind of still looking for like a permanent guy. What's up? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it, man. You know? So yeah,
that's
very glad. Very, very glad that all worked out like that. Because
Skeletal Remains is a band that I honestly didn't really, I've heard the name a bunch, and then I went to go see them play in Santa Cruz, and I was like, it's like kind of fucking amazing. Like I had a great time.
Fucking rules.
Yeah, it's like a Morbid Angel kind of, or some sort of a.
Yeah, it's like OSDM kind of, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It had
but
this
like
old
a really
school,
just super hyper focused view of it. You know what I mean?
That's what's really cool about like you know, when we had Sensibag dude, Devin's fucking rad.
Devin rules.
Yeah, I love Devin. And like I remember I was really having a rough time when we were on the podcast with him, because I was like talking about, because he was like, dude, like Danny hit me up, was like, dude, Devin he loves you guys' podcast, wants to be on, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh shit, like I just saw them at Psycho Fest.
Yeah,
I was like blown away. But the way I was blown away, I couldn't describe to him in like a complimentary way, but it was complimentary. It was like, that was fucking ignorant, dude. I loved the fuck out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And he took that correctly. But I was like, we kind of are, you know, everyone's putting on their fucking professor jackets with metal nowadays, and we kind of need to get brought back to like the caveman, just like where it started, you know, like to have that same feeling of where it started when you got back to, or when you started to get into death metal, like that fucking pissed. Like we didn't care about like riffs and how crazy drums were. Like we were just like, this is badass,
Totally,
And-
dude. I agree.
yeah.
I mean, I think we're kind of in the caveman age again.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
very much so. But yeah, I think, that's sick. Like it's not
I know,
exactly, I
right?
don't like all of those bands,
Yeah.
I just have realized I just like shit that sounds like pissed off. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
Like
most
I
important thing.
believe you that it's pissed.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not like trying to be pissed off, but I'm like, oh, I feel you. Like you're
Yeah.
pissed. Like I get it.
So
Yeah,
things
totally.
can still be technical, but it's hitting you in your primal, underbelly.
Yeah.
That's
But I
what we're
just
looking for.
love the shit they were doing with like guitar going into bass cabs, and like I was like, that's dumb as fuck, and I love it. Like that's like it was like, but the thing is, dumb is because I've been so nerdy about shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's bad. I'm just saying, like me and Chris B, the guy that does Dreamer and all the Zenith Passage and stuff, we both
And our
literally almost
intro.
said it in our intro. We literally in unison were like, that was the most ignorant shit, and that was sick as fuck. Like we were
Yeah.
like eyes open, like fuck. We weren't like that was ignorant. We were like, that was fucking ignorant, dude. That was sick.
Yeah,
Like
dude, it's fucking it rules. Like this is so stupid. I have another band that I
Mhm.
do called Dick Pill Overdose. And it's like,
Oh,
you guys ever
shit.
heard of like cock and ball torture?
It's got called
Oh,
out.
dude,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
played with them in Germany.
Oh, yo, I love CBT, dude. That shit's so sick. Just
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
just like meathead bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like
Mhm.
it's so awesome. And I've like really, to be honest with you, I started that band because my list of like stupid fucking song titles was like way too big, and I was like, the world needs to see this, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I've had that with fucking Nico and Chris from Iniquitous Deeds. Like we have it in like Vitriol, like we got like a whole bunch of song titles. We always like write down shit like that. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something about this, and so I did, and it was awesome. Like it's really, really fun. It's just like I've never done anything in music just for fun. There's always
Yeah.
been a goal, So I was like,
serious.
all right, well, yeah, take it, it
Yeah.
requires a lot of effort to play blast beats like that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So
Totally.
I was like, let's just do something a little bit let loosey. And I did that. And then now that I'm like trying to like write like an album or whatever, because brother, I got so many song titles, dude. It's so fun.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta write these songs,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
wow, dude, it's like really hard to write like 30 plus minutes of riffs within like a 10 to 15 minute or 10 to 15 BPM range, all under the 5th fret, and have it be good. You know what I mean? And so it's like kind of like embracing that challenge of like writing music has like really been super cool, because
That's
before
awesome.
it was like very much just like, all right, I've identified the box. Like, how do I just like fucking break out of it? And like, what's going to actually be cool? And like, not
Mhm.
just like obvious and kind of cheap, but like,
Yeah.
all right, well, here's the box. It's the same box. Let's just like fucking shrink that shit. And then how can I
Totally.
like make it cool? So it still ends up being nerdy, but
Yeah, we're all a bunch of nerds, right?
it's
We're all
weird.
nerds.
Yeah.
We used to play morbid menu, where you could come up with like the gnarliest like menu items at a restaurant that were like a Cannibal Corpse song.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. That's just great.
Having text threads of just back and forths of coming up with the gnarliest.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Shit.
funny that like a lot of these like death metal bands, like people are like, if you give it to them dry, they're like, what the fuck? But like,
Yeah, no
we're like
context.
way into comedy. Like we love to laugh. We're like we're all together, especially with like the bands like the grindcore bands back in the day and stuff like that, and the porno grind or grind, whatever. It's like the names they come up with. It was people like that don't know it would be like, what the fuck? And we'd be like, what the fuck? Like, it was always
dark.
funny.
I guess it's the dark humor. Like we got into dark humor quick. Like we could laugh at shit that people would
Be barf over.
Like you said, without
Yeah.
context, if they were to come into this or get a manuscript of text messages of kids doing morbid menu,
Yeah.
they'd be like, we need the
Walk them up.
psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
You know,
If I just like sent my boss my list of song titles, like I'd get the axe. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, it's not.
I have a story about that. So I was a coach on a baseball tournament team that went to Arizona, and my dad was one of the coaches too. And we had went with some other people that were just like along for the ride, and they had come across Carnivorous, and one of the songs is called Defiled Amputees. And written before I was like 18 when I wrote that song or some shit like that, you know. Don't write like that anymore, but that was brought out into the open in front of my dad during that tournament weekend, and I just saw all this disappointment in his eyes when somebody other than me told him that I had a song about keeping, you know, limbless people in barrels in a basement or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just that, I think that honestly that might have been the moment that I decided I wasn't going to write like that anymore, you know.
You know, it's funny, man. I have like two kind of similar experiences with something like that. Like, first of all, just going back to most recent was when I put out that Dick Pill Overdose EP. My dad called me, and he was just like, "That's awesome. I like that name a lot." And I was like, "Yeah, dude."
I understand.
Oh, Dad. No.
I'm sorry. No,
Oh man. But no, I was. It was when I first did a tour with Putridity. It never even occurred to me that like my name will be like attached to these bands and their song titles and stuff, because YouTube and fucking, you know, Metal Archives and all that shit. And my mom, she was like out to dinner with some of her friends or something like that, and was like, "Oh, what's up with that?" You know, and she was like, "Oh, check it out.
Let's Google them."
Yeah, well, she just fucking pulled me up on YouTube, and she was like, "Oh, I couldn't believe it. The first video was like Matt Kilner, and then like something about like abort something." I was like, "What? Like that? A, that's not even that bad, and B, like what the hell is that?" And I was thinking, because I was like, Iniquitous D's, like we don't have anything like that. Like what would that be tied to? And so I did it. I looked it up, and it was a live Putridity video of abortifacient whore lobotomizer, which is like such a psychotic fucking, such an insane fucking song title. And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's my name right there." Like, all right, it's done, you know. And then here I am, fucking, you know, years later playing in Gorgasm, where we've for years have opened up our set with Dirty Cunt Beatdown. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
Like lesbian stool orgies coming next, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's a banger, bro.
Okay, so what's your, now that we're talking, he just said that, what's your favorite OG Gorgasm song to play? Yeah.
Charred Vaginal Effluence, maybe. That's like a really good one. Honestly, I like Anal Skewer a lot. I like all the Masticate shit a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not that I don't like, I love Bleeding Profusely. It's so much more like just like Meathead punch you in the fucking face, you know?
Right.
But I like playing the Masticate stuff.
Masticates dominates fucking that.
Yeah.
When that was a solid follow-up for us, dude.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable, dude. Like, I wasn't aware of that when it came out, but like when I first found out about it, even as a guy who was like into brutal death metal, I was like, boys, like this is a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And then it actually, honestly, it took me to getting into to listening to Orgy to like really be like, okay, I understand Gorgasm. And then I go back to now Masticate's, I think, clearly my favorite Gorgasm album.
I mean,
it's so violent. It's so violent, dude. You know,
and that was the Bloodletting tour era. Unreal. You know,
yeah.
And it was, everybody was just so prime at what they were doing.
It's crazy,
you know,
dude.
All those bands too, and Gorgasm were just the same, dude. They were just top notch, dude.
Yeah, dude. And shout out my boy Damien once again. Like, dude.
And I'm not saying they were, they still are, dude. Damien is, I love that his kept that name going and kept making music, and all of it is great, and it gets faster every fucking album.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of a down pick of a Twitch, Jesus, the down pick.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's like put that on his tombstone, bro. You know
yeah.
Like it's awesome.
They have we talk about Discord, we talk about Spawn, like all these bands have contributed something that is powerful enough to where down picking for Gorgasm is the signature thing.
Totally, man.
The whatever
you
can
find his fucking screen name. He's on the Instagram.
Down pick, bro. Yeah,
dude. Down pick, bro. He's all, he said Matt is all about the brown note.
Yeah, he said something. He said something about your farts, dude. You got gnarly farts.
He's just jealous, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're men, dude. You want the gnarliest farts you can get, dude.
Yeah, what? You don't want to fucking hang out in a van with me for like 3 months? What do you want?
I mean, yeah, 15-passenger van just makes you realize you kind of figure out who farts after a month.
Oh, they figure out quick, brother.
Oh,
everybody's got a signature to their fart, dude.
Dude,
my favorite in a van is like, I remember
my favorite fart in a van.
My favorite fart in a van's in LA, and I'm laying in the very back of the van. And I go like this. I'm like half asleep, and I go like that's all I do.
Yeah,
and within like 3 seconds, decrepit Bill's driving, and he's just all like, "What the fuck is going on?" He was and I was like, it got to him so quick, but it was like
it had some momentum, dude. Yeah,
it was all, and it just engulfed the van.
Damn,
like it was
dude.
like when we rolled down the windows, you still got 15 seconds after the windows are rolled.
Oh yeah, dude.
Through your clothes, through the sleeping bag.
Yeah, you spraying that shit thick, dog. That's what you call. That's that fucking heinous anus, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's some good.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude.
If you had the right the goggles on, you could see the particles just bouncing off the walls.
It made me immediately interested in like why. I'll just be like brat and nothing. No one complains, but I go and it just destroyed of people's lives.
That's all I got, dude. That's all I got. I tell people this all the time. Like, dude, okay, like. Yeah, like my ass smells hella bad. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, it just is what it is. But like, dude, if I could rip like loud ass farts, I'd have at least like probably 15% just more like overall joy in my life.
At least
I would be like quantifiably happier.
Release,
at least it made a funny noise.
Yeah.
But then it's just rancid, silent but deadly ones.
Yeah, dude. Shit's wild.
Ever since I went to White Claws, because I drink the Surge White Claws.
Surge.
But now ever since I went to that, because I remember my mom was visiting me when I first moved into this house, and it was like 4 years ago. She comes over and I use the restroom, and she comes out, she's all, "Dude, you have like a gluten thing going on." And I just like drank like IPAs all night and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you have like I remember that smell. Like I have a gluten thing, and you have a gluten thing. And I was like, yeah, I remember just like in the morning, just going and just like destroying my room, like going and like coming back to my bed like 20 minutes later. And
yeah, dude. Like,
just
do I have a gluten thing, man?
I have a gluten thing.
You probably do,
these are 8%, so they get people try to fuck with me on these. But this is the new. By the way,
surgeon for
the second pack. This is the new flavors. Just came out 2 days ago. So there's the pineapple.
Oh, dude, they got new flavors.
Strawberry.
That's how long it's been.
It's dangerous.
Since I've had a Surge.
It tastes so good.
Do they have one that
pineapple one?
Tastes like
Probably
Coors Light. Like that's all I want. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I love Coors Light. I love the sustainability of the light beer. Like I love that it doesn't get you too off the chain. You can kind of sustain.
I mean,
you have regular White Claws do that, but you have to hold a White Claw though.
But the session IPAs, they do like
these
4% IPAs.
Well, these ones like people used to give me shit about White Claws and stuff, like holding White Claws. And I'm like, dude, my farts don't stink at all anymore. Like they're completely, I have no smell in my farts anymore. Like, and I was like, I will out drink you any day of the week if you want to go down that route, but I'm not trying to do that. But
Look at him. He's
like,
double. It's a double competition. Not only will I outdrink you, but my farts
'cause they're
will
trying
not
to-
smell, dude. Let's
yeah,
fucking
yeah. They're trying to
compare
be
our
like,
farts or
oh,
fucking-
you're drinking White Claws. Like, wah. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, if you want to do whiskey, I'll do like, I'll do 120 proof, whatever. What do you want to
Drink
do?
White Claw, bro. Who gives a fuck?
Oh shit,
you know what
dude.
I mean?
120
man.
proof, bro. Where you at?
I know this is like younger Joel, but
Oh,
just because
yeah.
we came from such a fucking heavily like alcohol, like fucking whatever, dude. We remember we had wild turkey, bro.
White
Bro.
Wild turkey.
Jesus. Wild turkey parties where if you had an 80 proof wild turkey, you had to have a bottle of wild turkey to enter like an old odious party. But
Mhm.
if you had 80 proof, you weren't allowed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to get the 100 proof. Like
Yeah.
you had to get
Turn
you had
around.
to walk with 100
Go
proof.
exchange it.
I was
Go
like,
exchange it. Go
we would
back.
let him in, but we just make fun of him. But yeah, that was like, it was like almost like a just younger generation bro, just like whatever.
Yeah,
dude.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb.
And
But,
if
yeah.
any of you called me now and said, "Hey, dude, we're having a wild turkey party," I'd be like, "I'm gonna stay home, dude."
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
no,
what I go through.
I'll bring a wild turkey bottle, but I'll fill it with fucking apple juice.
Yeah.
I'll hang out like a fucking G in front of you
Or
guys.
they carry the Arnold Palmer, you know.
Oh,
Oh, Arnie Palmy, nice. Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
that's
Yeah,
the best
dude.
one. That's the best one.
Just keep sipping it, and everybody else doesn't even know, dude.
Brutal.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. Thanks for fucking coming up. We gotta fucking kind of wrap it
We're
up.
a quarter to one right now.
Yeah, I gotta work
Oh,
on
shit.
6 hours.
Yeah.
But 7 hours. I don't want to lie to the
No.
public.
I had fun
But
tonight,
man,
though,
Matt,
guys.
I actually didn't know what I was gonna get into. I remember like seeing like Casey going like, "Oh, Matt's gonna be on." And I was like, "Cool, that's fucking sick." And then like seeing the social medias react to you, like you're obviously doing something right, dude. It's fucking rad to see you
Yeah.
kicking ass and doing your thing and playing drums and doing what you want to do for a living, and that's fucking rad, dude. And
It's awesome.
you're doing
I-
something right.
I
Like,
appreciate that. I will say, because I've just kind of realized this, and I don't want to keep y'all too long here, but just to touch back on
No worries.
the drumming thing and almost like a little bit of that like effort shit. This is something I've kind of when I did that Splattered tour, it's like basically a slam band. Like we had like 2 songs that were like real blasty. I was like, yeah, these are my jams. You know what I mean? But we had like 4 or 5 other songs. They were just kind of like rolling with like the slams and shit. So it's like, all right, what do? I guess just beat the fuck out of my drums. Like that's how I'm going to make it fun, you know? So
yeah,
I did that. And then I got back into like playing blast beats and shit with whoever, like Vitriol was the next band, obviously. And I was like, man, I still want to beat the fuck out of my drums, dude, you know? And so just like really trying to like lean into that, like I think is something that has given me a lot of fulfillment. And it's something that I know people like will like reach out, like mention to me specifically, like, oh, like that is cool. And it's like, I didn't do that to like achieve like to gain a reaction from people. It's just like that. I found that's what I wanted to do. And I think
that's your
speaks
therapy,
to-
dude.
yeah, totally, dude. And like, I think a lot of people kind of share that sentiment, and that's awesome, you know, and
rad.
really just trying to kind of fucking, you know, I don't know, just be a linebacker about it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, just be a fucking bring the violence back to blast beats, you know?
A lot of people are trying to punt the blast beats. They're trying to like
Yeah. No, we're going for it, motherfucker. 4th and 7. Let's go, dude. Yeah. Own 15. Who gives a fuck, man?
Give those fucking drums CTE, dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think I just I don't know. I think it's really cool to have like chosen. Oh, sorry. The other thing was, you guys know Dave Suzuki, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
Flying
yeah.
Remains.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Part of after watching Chasen play with Vitriol that whole tour, I was like, God damn, that motherfucker's fills are insane, bro.
Dude, Jason's
Totally.
amazing, dude.
Jason's a
Oh
freak.
my God, this fool's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I came back and I was like, I want to do fills. Like, I want to do fills. And I was like, what's the craziest fill ever? And I was like,
Probably
oh,
on
like-
Zomlo.
Huh?
Probably on Zomlo.
Zomlo?
On Zomlo. Phil on Zomlo. Sorry.
Oh no,
That was,
no,
that was
not
like-
the craziest
what the
guy
fuck?
named
that was
Bill.
sorry.
The craziest.
Yeah,
Stumbled
I
on
know,
it.
I
I
thought
get
it'd
it
be
now.
funny.
It was a
I thought it'd
punchline.
be
He
funny.
fucked
It
it
was a
up.
reach.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
reach. Anyways,
No, that's
I love Phil Ozama. But
No, I was like, okay, fucking, what is it? Hammer down the nails, fucking.
oh yeah,
Like I was just
dude.
like, I'm just gonna try to play that, and
Yeah.
I couldn't, obviously. And then I kept doing it. I finally could, and I was like, man, this like sucks ass to play, but I still kind of like it, and I'm just gonna do it anyway. And that's the kind of thing. That's what's really getting me going these days. Is just like, just being fucking brutal about it. And I think people seem to really enjoy that, which is really cool. Like that means a lot to me. You know, it's like that is kind of that
It's a win-win. Like you get like your shit out, like to do what you want to do, and people are like, I respect that, because a lot of people are like, you know, they're hitting the drums too light or whatever, and like you're beating the shit out of them, and drummers
the idea.
love that. That's like
that's
the home run for drummers.
Why are we here? Are we here because we're all super happy? You know what I mean? Like, nah, dude.
I mean, afterwards we are, but we have to get it out somehow. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like kind of going back to what you were saying earlier was like, it is a feel thing, you know, and that's crazy. Like you connected some dots. That's like really cool. So, thanks for the doing that and the kind words and for
some
having me on.
CBP therapy, dude.
Yeah, dude, fuck, beat him up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, fuck yeah, dude. That's super sick, dude. Well, I mean, you're in some of the most badass bands like on the underground right now, and Vitriol. Everyone, look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've had probably 7 or 8 people within the last month just be like, "Have you heard the new album from them? Have you heard that?" They're like, "I wasn't into the earlier stuff, but this album, you have to listen to this album. Like, don't jump around. Just listen to this one." They were like, specifically telling me that like
that's
like
sick,
this
dude.
Yeah, I was like,
very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and I listened to it and I was like, what the fuck? It fucking has this like has everything going for it. It has almost like a Morbid Angel-y like that kind of like rush that I have like when I listen to Morbid Angel, and it has kind of like a eerie sound to it. So many things going on that I was like very impressed, man.
Kyle
impressed.
is a genius.
That's the singer,
lead guitar singer. He writes everything.
The hot guy, right? The hot guy.
Oh yeah. Fucking Kyle's that's my boy, dude. Like, I love that guy.
He seems like super chill. I've seen him on some interviews and stuff. Yeah.
Great dude, man. And he like they all, especially like because he I think does the majority of it or whatever. Like they put together like an awesome, like incredible album for me to just come over and be like, oh, I'm gonna play this kind of blast beat. You know what I mean? And I'm super thankful. So
doesn't it suck when the hot guys are good at shit too? You're like, God damn it.
Bro, dude, just gotta practice harder, I guess, man. It's fucking whack. Fuck this.
Speaking of hot guys, I'm gonna end it on this. Guttural Reef says, who's the buffest sleeveless vocals, Damien or Ricky Myers? I'm taking Damien.
I'm taking Damien.
Damien, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ricky Myers is
Ricky's buff as shit.
As fuck, yeah.
I'll take Ricky's face. I'll take Ricky's face, and I'll take Damien's muscles.
You say Ricky's face is buffer?
Oh, buffer? No, I'm just saying like if I was
saying
like
he's hotter.
I'm just saying I'm going into like a bro hot guy thing, dude.
I think that Damien's the biggest slab on the.
Oh, Damien's a fucking juggernaut, dude. You can't
Junk.
Like yeah. That guy is thick, dog. In a good way.
We should have a Gorgasm episode where all you guys come out and hang out with us on the show one week.
Oh, dude, it'd be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, good, dude.
Dude, Matt,
like that. Sasha's good company. Damien's good company, dude. We gotta have a little Gorgasm party, dude.
Dude, me and Sasha with the memes, we just like every day we send each other like fucking hockey memes and metal memes, and it's just constant. But
yeah,
fucking hilarious, dude, man.
I'm so happy that we could make all these friends that we've made after doing this shit for 172 episodes, dude. And I feel like I made a new friend tonight again, dude. Matt,
yeah, man,
you're a homie, dude.
What's up, dude?
Dude,
yeah.
No doubt.
I'll do the Taylor Swift Go Chiefs.
No, for real.
Awesome. I come into episodes not knowing people sometimes, and I'm like, what's this going to be all about? And we've had some high profile, people that are younger, high profile people, and I'm like, I'm not really down. But you're literally like fucking hilarious. We vibed great. I think you're just a true human that just like is doing it for like not doing it for anything else but that you love it, and it's really cool to see, man. Really cool to see.
Yeah. So what's up? Got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Somebody's
yeah.
got to do it. Fuck.
Yeah. Please keep doing it, man. Please. I mean, you're in Concord, not the cheapest place, but if you can keep doing it at a sustainable rate, please keep doing it. Please.
Yeah. I need to get that fucking Coors Light sponsorship. You know, say like $400 a month, dude. Fuck.
Hell yeah, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do a quick wrap up of all the plugs and shit. Oh yeah, by the way, no, I'm not even gonna do it. I'll do it next. I'm talking about the Twitch. Why am I gonna talk it at the very end? Who sticks around to the very end?
Like,
actually, we still got some people at the very end.
But I mean, I don't do the Twitch rating thing anymore because we're on like 9 different platforms now. So
I know it's crazy. All right, well, battleforgecoffee.com. That's what it is. We're gonna do it in this. That's IT Joel. IT Joel. That's what he looks like during his work week. Wait, pull it back up again. I just
that was awesome.
eyes.
Oh, dude, I can't go back and forth like that.
Yeah, dude. That's you while you're doing your IT shit, dude.
Oh, there's that. See the picture back in the back? That's the Dwight Clark one. You can see the camera.
Oh, I see the catch. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's badass.
Exists.
GeneratorRehearsalStudios.com, Ocean View, California. Too quick for Joel to even pull it up. There it is. And surgeon. We're a surgeon. All right. Matt, again, you said just hit up your Instagram.
Yeah.
The knitting.
Yeah, knitting.bdm, whatever you want to say. I don't give a fuck.
He's not giving lessons. He doesn't want to fucking teach any.
He doesn't have time for you guys, dude.
I'm just worried.
Or patience.
People sit down, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's a dick." You know what I mean?
Like, no, you're fucking up a lot right there, dude. No, you're fucking up really bad. Like, stop.
Yeah. Give up. Give me 50.
Stop fucking up and start fucking executing now.
Yeah. Fuck.
Exactly.
By the way, after the hour, you didn't fucking execute. Give me my fucking $30.
Yeah. I actually charge penalties when you don't execute. Like, it's like $30 to fuck up. So.
That's a great business model. That's the Ticketmaster, brother.
Ticketmaster, exactly. I'm Live Nation, dude.
Man, that's a big incentive. That weeds out the starters. They really got to be ready to go.
That's the old Joe Satriani one. Joe Satriani, I mean, he taught Kirk Hammett and Steve Vai and stuff, but he would give them homework, and if they didn't do it right, he'd be like, "No, dude, I'm not teaching you. Fuck off." He was like,
by your teacher.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, dude, like I'm super shaved bald, like I can't take you right now." No, he was like really brutal. Like he would be like, "Here's your homework. You got to learn it. If you don't learn it, then you're not interested." And then next, like he would just skip the money. I was like,
"That's sick. That's fucking awesome."
That's why he fucking put together so many fucking amazing players.
Crazy, man.
All right, we really got to wrap it up, guys. But it obviously, Matt, you're a good dude, and we keep talking to you because we want to talk to you. But it's fucking late as shit.
I get it.
I had to wake up in 6 hours and go align cars until I drive up to Rockland. So tomorrow's gonna be a rough one for me, but I do it because I love doing this shit, and I love meeting people like you, and I love doing it for the people who's in the chat. Love doing it for people around the world that watch it afterwards, and everybody needs to just rock on, have a good time, dude. Stay positive.
That's all you can do.
And we'll see you next week. 173.
Get it.